life on this Tuesday, October 15, 2024. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. Welcome back to our first Tuesday edition of the program. We have done Tuesday editions in the past, and yes, it is pronounced Tuesday. We have done some of these in the past. They have been one-offs. They have been special editions, if you will. They have been, the Nate Diaz, the Francis Ngannous of the world. But now this is a thing. This is a thing. Day one has come and gone. We are continuing to tweak. We are continuing to make changements and adjustments and things like that. Is changement a word? I'm still not sure. But
I don't think it is.
No. Also, my audio is a little bit different, I have to say. And that means we're fully back because it's sounding different in my ear. I don't know what that is, Frank.
Good or bad?
Worse, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Yes, worse. There's just something like echoey in my ear at the moment. But, these are the things that you're doing when you're working through all the new adjustments, the kinks and whatnot. And so here we are on a Tuesday. This is our regular cadence. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're getting the AH show, this show, the Ariel Helwani Show. Thursdays, you're getting the Boys in the Back, led by GC and New York Rick, and other guests as well. All pop in from time to time as well. Plus, on Fridays, you get The Crack with Pete C. Carroll, and what a debut for him on yesterday's program. Every day on this YouTube channel, live at 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, every show goes up on our podcast feed. There's the shows right there. In addition to that, you got the watch parties. You got the post-fight shows. You've got Helwani Vision debuting on Saturday for the Battle of the Giants pay-per-view exclusively on DAZN pay-per-view. You've got Ariel and Ade debuting next Tuesday, and more on that later in today's program. It's a full slate of activity. And in addition to all of that, we've launched the new website, Uncrowned.com. Great recap as far as Monday Night Raw is concerned on the website, up right now by my guy, Penn Shamrock. A great story on our love of all things violence by the brilliant Elliot Wursel. We've gotten stories from Chuck Mindenhall and Ben Folks and Cam Hawkins and, of course, the one and only Keith Idek. We've gotten a bunch of stuff up there already. Drake Riggs with a great debut as well yesterday on the program. Actually, he debuted a couple of days prior, but nevertheless, my guy Darshan of Everything. Everything is up there. Look at this site. It's a beautiful array of things, and I'm just so thrilled. I'm so thrilled that the plane is now in the sky. I've used this analogy many a time. Pizzi always makes fun of me. We see the comments, we see the suggestions for tweaks, but it was Action Bronson, actually, if I may, who back in 2019, when I first met him, told me, I listen to WFAN, he said. Every day you come on, you got Mike and the Mad Dog, you got Joe Benigno and all the guys. There needs to be something like this for combat. And I hope he doesn't mind me saying it really warmed my heart today. He said, you're doing it. You're doing the WFAN. WFAN is a 24-hour sports radio station, which was the first of its kind, and it originated here in New York City. And he said, you're doing it. You are doing it. And it's great to have you on a Tuesday and a Wednesday and the boys on Thursday and all the stuff that's coming as well. So this is great. I love it. I feel like I have a real 9-to-5 job now, and I could come in and do my thing and talk to all of you. And, when I left the show yesterday, my dear mother, who was also on yesterday's program, and again, thank you to the guys in the back for putting that together. That was a highlight for me, and it was great to see my family there and some of my close friends in the business. It kind of took my breath away. I was very, I don't know how to describe how that stuff makes me feel, but I was very appreciative. And the question she asked me was, and I believe she's watching right now, hello. The question she asked me was, can you do this tomorrow and then Wednesday? And yes, of course I can do it. And I will happily do it. And I've always wanted to do it this way. So don't worry about us. Don't worry about the workload. We're figuring it out. We're getting better each and every day. And I'm just so happy to be here. I'm really, really so happy to be here and doing this with great partners at Yahoo. Everything has been great. So hopefully you're watching us on the new YouTube channel. If the stream is good for you, if we're looking a little bit better, thank you to our friends at LDG for coming in today. Alex, Ariel, everyone doing such great work. Give us a thumbs up in the chat. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell. do all the things that the kids like to do on YouTube. Now, as far as today's program is concerned, you didn't think we'd be able to top yesterday's program? Well, guess what? Doubt us once, but never again. Okay, that's it. You get one, and now it's out the window. Today's program, super stacked once again on this Tuesday edition of the program. Back end of the show, my good friend Ade Oladipo of DAZN, of Talk Sport, will join us from Riyadh. He's there for the Six Kings tennis tournament, which goes down later on this week, part of Riyadh season. But we got to talk about Saturday. We got to talk about some new things that have transpired since Saturday, since that event. Better be a Bivol. This is the individual, by the way, who I think oh so highly of, and who I'll be doing a show with every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UK time, originating live on DAZN, on the app, on DAZN.com, on their YouTube channel, and then you can see select highlights on our YouTube channel and on Uncrowned.com. There it is, Ariel and Ade. It debuts a week from today, but you're getting a mini version of the program when he joins us at around 3:45. Prior to that, at 3 o'clock, El Diamante, Dustin Poirier will join us. Can't wait for that. Always love talking to him. What a gent, what a guy he is, and an absolute legend of the sport who continues to tease us. Uno más, dos más. What's going on with Dustin Poirier? He'll join us at 3 o'clock. At 2:30, one of my very favorites in the game, Kayla Harrison. She wasn't happy that I had Julianna on yesterday. Well, we give her an opportunity to respond to Julianna on the program. 2:30, she'll join us. The uncrowned queen. She said it. She said it herself. I like it. I liked where she was going. I pretended like she said it in honor of us. There she is. Kayla Harrison. Renato Moicano will join us at 2 o'clock. Money Moicano. And yes, back-to-back ATT guests on the program. Moicano, Harrison, Poirier. And we'll kick things off in about 23 minutes from now with the reigning, defending UFC featherweight champion, the one and only El Matador, Ilia Topuria, joining us live from Abu Dhabi, live from the United Arab Emirates. He'll join us to talk, of course, about his October 26th title defense against one Max Holloway, the Blessed Express. What a show. I love today's show. I'm pumped. Yesterday's show was a lot of fun. My favorite moment, other than my family joining us, other than the friends, the surprise Dion Dawkins, and shout out to them Buffalo Bills for the big win at MetLife. Commiserations, of course, to On Air Jordan, the Jets fan. Their valiant effort. They did get Devontae Adams today, so congrats. I didn't want him anyway. Just if I'm being honest, I didn't want him. We don't need a WR1. We really don't need one of those. We do need a new kicker, though. In any event, my favorite part of yesterday's program had to have been the spontaneous reunion of sorts between one Tom Aspinall and Pete Carroll. This is what you're getting on on this program. This is the kind of stuff that you'll get, the kind of surprises, the kind of fun. You're seeing the fighters in a different light. I don't need to tell you about what we do, but this was great. And I keep watching the clip over and over again, and I keep laughing because it was just so fun. In case you missed it, and you can watch the whole thing on our YouTube channel right now. You can listen to it on our podcast feeds. Just type in the Ariel Helwani Show. Here is that great moment.
Oh, guess who just messaged me? Pete Carroll.
What do you say?
I'm not telling you, that's between me and Pete, but he's a top man. I like you very much.
The cheeky. He's probably sitting in his chair right now. Pete, is Pete even there? He's right. Yeah. Look at this fucking guy. He's right.
What's going on?
He just there he is. I told you, he's a part of the show now. He's now on the show.
Oh my God. I didn't know he was like that. I didn't know he's actually
What's the crack, Tom?
online, ready to go. He's ready to talk. He's got a microphone and everything.
He's just ready. He's ready to go.
How are you, bud?
That was amazing. I loved everything about that. And yes, the boys are here. All of them are here. And what a debut for Pete Carroll. And I understand Pete's actually wearing the same. Is that possible? You're not wearing the same thing as you were yesterday. You're on a daily show now, Pete. You can't do that.
No, it's just a black T-shirt, but it's a different T-shirt.
Okay, because in the back they were telling me like, hey, he's wearing the same thing. Don't be alarmed. It's not a shot of him yesterday.
It's a different. This is a Ralph Lauren black T-shirt. Yesterday was Zara one, I believe.
Has life changed dramatically since you became a regular fixture on the program?
Well, I mean, you only have to look as far as Saturday night in Dublin. A-lister at the Chase and Status gig. I mean, it's all coming. Like, does that happen if I'm not on this show? I don't think so. I don't think I'm getting
Our
invited
guy
to
hooked
these
you up?
red carpet. Oh my God, are you joking me? I was in the band for a night. Picked me up. Well, I went to meet the great Saul Milton Chase.
Love him.
In his hotel. Picked us up in a limo, jump out of the limo straight into the gig, into the green room area, on stage. He actually wanted me to stand behind him as he was, orchestrating this crowd of thousands of people. But when the lights hit, I actually got a bit of stage fright, so I just stepped off to the left and chilled out there for the night. But amazing times.
You got to be part of the band for a night.
I'm actually in the band now, yeah.
Oh, okay. Were you singing
the triangle?
Ba-da-dam, 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 were you doing that?
Have you been rehearsing?
Yeah.
I can't believe you know all the lyrics. That's insane.
I listen to it a lot.
Wait, how many of those shows have you been to?
You know what, Frank? Only you would bring that up. Only you would try to make
and
me
I
uncomfortable.
both have gone. We're just waiting. That's all.
Their shows are on
Frank
very
Kine in
late.
the band.
Their shows are on very late. I'm an old man.
This one started at 1 a.m.
Yeah, 1 a.m. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for me.
I mean, it's football season. That's my body clock right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great stuff from our Bills. Are the boys there too, or are they just being shy today? What's happening?
Nah, man, we left.
We're right here, baby.
Yeah. Shout out to Rick. Rick slept here last night.
I might as well at this point. I don't think I've seen anything outside the studio for the last 4 weeks.
Man, working so hard. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be in the foxhole with you guys. Everyone feel good? You feel good about yesterday?
Yeah, one in the books. I mean, just get the one off on a good note. We got that little emotional ending. Pizzi and Tom Aspinall have their little giggle fest moment. Like, we hit all the notes, I feel like.
I think so too. GC, feel good?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. GC.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say? We got room for improvement.
Yeah, I like that. I like that attitude. That's a good attitude.
Fancy football team last night. He's got we lost again.
Talk about room for improvement. We're on a 3-game losing streak. Start the season hot. Pizzi's already picking out his ring size. We're 3-0. Now we're 3-3.
We were almost 3-3, the Bills of Buffalo, but we were able to thwart that threat. By the way, I wanted to mention this yesterday. I failed to do so. You want to see how far we've come in a very short amount of time? This photo is me and Frank in this room like 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 tops. Look how far we've come in a very, very short amount of time. Look at us.
Look at how far Frank's come.
Yeah, Frank.
I mean, these last 4 weeks, he's been in the gym grinding. He's looking svelte since then.
My dermatologist says it's going to clear up any day now.
No, you can see it clearing up there, Frank. I think you look great.
Your eyes, yeah.
But look at that. I mean, it's hard to imagine that we've come so far. And we had no connectivity. We didn't even have this window, for goodness sakes. And look at us now.
The window, I mean, people on social media.
The window has been a thing.
The window is the topic of the chat.
Yeah.
We got texts about the window.
We did. There's polls about the window. There's discussion about whether it's real. No.
Could you, you might want to review. What is a window?
Okay, so it's a window, and there's actually someone in our episode yesterday who time-stamped when a bird was seen flying through the window in real time. So thank you to that gentleman.
I'm praying a bird smacks up into it.
Would be fantastic. That would be fantastic.
Is this a hard play for a window sponsorship? Is this what this is?
We're
trying to get
a would be a window sponsorship?
Pella.
I don't know.
Clarity Windows.
I like it.
Listen.
Windex, window cleaner.
I have something to tell you guys.
What?
If it rains tomorrow, you will see the rain. If it snows, you will see the snow.
Correct, man. For now, this has to be the 5th time you're explaining to us how windows work.
If the sun is setting,
we'll also
you shall see the setting of the sun. I mean, it's just
a door to the world outside.
What if it gets dark out? What if it gets dark out?
If it's actually pitch black, you will see the Empire State Building lit up like the Christmas tree. So
it's beautiful.
I just thought you guys would want to know. Guys, the beauty about doing a show like this every day is that you can react to news each and every day. Just like you look out a window and you can see what's out there, you do a daily show.
Is this a new gimmick? Over-explaining simple things? I'm not sure where we're going with this.
No, it's just I want people to understand, because when we did the show in Vegas, they didn't understand that was a one-off. When we did Pardon Our Dust, they didn't understand what that was. So
That's fair.
I'm just trying to what is it, like dummy proof my statements. Some unfortunate news came through the wire this morning. We did find out that Mike Perry, of course, who has enjoyed a renaissance in BKFC and really part of that renaissance is not just the way in which he is fighting, but it's also the way in which it seems he is living his life, right? His family life seems to be in order. He's a father, he's a husband, multiple years without any controversy, any drama, any incidents of any kind. Well, we found out that unfortunately he was arrested on October 12th in Florida on a pair of charges, including driving under the influence. Now, I'm reading this courtesy of our longtime friends at MMA Fighting. Lake County Sheriff's Office records confirm that Perry was arrested by the Claremont Police Department on October 12th. That is Saturday morning at 1:04 a.m. local time for driving under the influence, along with an offense of refusing to sign a citation requiring a court appearance, both second-degree misdemeanors. It was Perry's first DUI offense, according to arrest records. Perry was released on $1,500 bond later that morning and is scheduled to appear in court on October 30th. The potential penalties for a second-degree misdemeanor in the state of Florida include a maximum of 60 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. In a police report obtained by MMA Fighting from the Claremont Police Department, Perry was pulled over after doing approximately 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. According to the officer's calibrated speedometer, the reporting officer noted the smell of alcohol coming from the vehicle. According to the report, Perry denied consuming alcohol and was informed his speech sounded slow, to which Perry responded that the officer's speech, quote unquote, was fast. So I spoke to his team and they told me that, he's owning up to it, a mistake. He was with his wife. He was drinking a little bit too much and, he made this big mistake. And so he is going to have to deal with the repercussions and see how the whole process plays out. So a setback for him, no doubt, 100%. But they are owning up to it. They understand what they did. They understand how serious something like this can be and how lucky they are that it didn't lead to something even worse. It's a bummer if you are a fan of Mike Perry's because he's had this incredible stretch of good things happening to him and seemed to be in a great spot and space. And so let's see if this is just a slip up, a one-off, if you will, or a snowball effect of things to come. Hopefully not the latter. Hopefully he learns from this. I also did ask if he had anything planned as of yet. As far as fighting is concerned, the tentative plan seems to be a return in the first quarter of 2025. There's a very interesting fight on the table for his return to BKFC. No, he has not been fired by BKFC, as was suggested following his loss to Jake Paul, but that fight not quite done just yet. So stay tuned for that. In addition to that piece of news, we also did get another interesting piece of news from a guy who Mike Perry knows and from a legend of the sport, Donald Cerrone, out of the blue, and maybe not to the surprise of many, posting on social media this morning that he wants, in fact, to come back and that he is planning on coming back. He put together a very nice video showing this all off. I do believe we have it, and we can show some of it without some sound. Yeah, 2 fights. I retired. I told you I was going to get my hair done. I was going to go on steroids. The number 50 has been sitting in my mind for a while, 50 fights. Transcend the last 2 fights, take some TRT, some peptides. Now I've got a protocol for all of you people that say, oh, you get on, you get off. Well, I now come off and I have to piss clean. Fight in a few months. So watch this. And then he shows off the moves. So, I mean, fair play to you, Cowboy Cerrone, admitting that he was on TRT, he was on steroids, he did get his hair done, but now he is good to go and he is ready to go. There's Gordon Ryan in the video helping him prepare as well. So Cowboy Cerrone, who walked away a few years ago, now saying that he is planning a comeback. One of the all-time legends and someone who, let's be honest, would be perfect for the world of BKFC, right? I mean, it just seems like he was made for something like that. His last fight, in case you're wondering, July 2nd, 2022 against Jim Miller. And his last win was a win over Ally Quinta in May of 2019. So it has been quite a while. Obviously had that big fight against Conor McGregor in 2020, January of 2020, and that didn't go his way, and it ended rather quickly. Now, in addition to that, we get news from Tony Ferguson that he is not done and says that he is too young to retire. Of course, the UFC can say thank you to both of you for your services, but we are not interested. They could 100% say that. But that did lead to some people saying, well, like, let's just have the two of them fight. Let's just have Tony Ferguson fight Donald Cerrone, and Ferguson told Demetrius Johnson, I'm not retiring, I'm too old to retire. And so that leads me to this question to you boys in the back. Rick, I'll start with you. Any interest in a Tony Ferguson-Donald Cerrone fight in the UFC octagon?
At a high level, at a top level, no. But if they are going to fight, I would like for it to be against each other because that's the lesser of all evils. But like, am I interested in either of their fights right now? Like, not particularly. Like, I feel like they've had incredibly legendary careers, don't have anything left, left to prove, rather, or anything that I need to see from them. Happy if both were off into the sunset, but at the same time, if they are going to fight, if they feel like they are not done and retirement is not in the cards, against each other, to me, is a better option than what we see sometimes where they're taking fights against young prospects and what the UFC likes to do. And we even see like Jose Aldo re-signs a contract. Now he's fighting Mario Bautista. Like, I don't like those fights. Those don't make sense to me. So if we are going to see them, I would prefer it to be against each other. But at like a higher level than that, like, these dudes have done so much. I'm good if we don't see them again.
GC?
I mean, it sounds like they want to come back, so I don't think it's really our choice whether or not we're going to see them again. But I mean,
it's not so much. I'm saying, are you interested? Obviously, and by the way, I said too old to retire. I meant too young to retire. My apologies. You get the point.
Right.
Do you have interest?
No, not really. Like, not particularly, but sort of like Rick said, like, if they're going to fight, I would like to see them fight each other. They're both, well on their way age-wise, and also just the losing streaks that they hold. Actually, Tony Ferguson's last win was over Cowboy Cerrone, if I'm not mistaken. Neither has a win since 2019.
Fuck yeah.
So someone's probably got to win, unless we get a draw. But yeah, get someone back in the win column. Though then you run the risk if one of them gets in the win column. Now they sign like a new contract. Now the title run starts, and then we're back to point A.
I don't have so Cerrone going away. It's like it's a little bit of an absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Sure.
I don't have a strong desire to see either, but I'm also not here stumping for them to retire.
I think we need to be clear because it could come off sounding wrong. Like, they have done so much. They've accomplished so much. They are so legendary that, like, there's nothing left to prove, right? Like, as fans, there's nothing that we're craving like, oh, man, I really wish Cowboy fought this guy. No, Cowboy fought everybody. Same thing with Tony, right? The Tony and Habib story. That was the part that never got resolved. But outside of that, nobody's like, man, I really wish we got Tony doing XYZ thing. We saw it all, and we enjoyed it all, and we loved it all. And so I think it's a thing where it's like, we want to just be clear and not people to get the wrong impressions. Like, when we're saying we're not interested, it's because they have accomplished so much, not because we are saying, like, they are not worthy of this status or worthy of being in this position.
PT?
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing about this whole situation for me is the omission of being on steroids and now I'm ready to come back. Like, that is, like, how we talk about matching these guys. It's such an interesting thing. I remember at the Olympics, a celebrated Irish runner, Rashida Adeleke, she came fourth, and one of the people who finished in the podium had tested positive before, and they missed some world championships. So the question to this person who got a medal then at the Olympics was, how do we know that you're not on steroids now? Like, in terms of when people are taking steroids for a fight, they aren't doing it the week of the fight. Like, this is the way people take steroids. They take them months out, and then they'll get the gains when it gets closer to the fight. What will this open up in terms of, look, Julianna Peña was talking about it yesterday on the show in terms of Amanda Nunes. Like, there's these theories, are these fighters retiring and doing this to come back rejuvenated and have this extra leg in their career? Like, it really changes the dynamic of retirement, as far as I'm concerned, in the UFC.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, look at TJ Dillashaw. I think a lot of people think he's going to come back. If you're out of the system, if you're not being tested, I almost applaud the honesty because I think we all assume that he's doing it. So I don't necessarily mind that. It's not illegal to take TRT if you're just a regular human being. I don't know why he needed to say that, but I applaud the honesty. Is it insulting to say, like, I'd rather just see Donald Cerrone in BKFC? Is that an insulting thing to BKFC or Donald Cerrone? Is that...
That's the last thing I want to see. Like, that is what went through my mind as soon as I saw this. I'm seeing BKFC, a guy, as we said, like, a great fighter, an all-time fighter. Like, him and Tony Ferguson might be, two of the top 50 guys of all time. I'm off the top of my head here, of course, but to have a guy like that go to BKFC, to me, is like, take on a young challenger there. Like, what do you use a guy like Donald Cerrone for if he's going over to BKFC at this stage of his career? That'd be my feeling on that.
Well, we were just talking about the earlier part and them being matched up in the UFC and all that stuff. The first thing that came to my mind was, do we need to see it in the UFC? I would prefer to see it elsewhere potentially. So
Now, when you say elsewhere, do you mean like PFL Bellator, or do you mean
somewhere else, somewhere where it's not the UFC?
can we just see them like in a Craig Jones Invitational?
Sure.
But hang on. The whole premise of him coming back is to hit all these records in the UFC. 50th
Yeah,
fight. I
that's a
want to
good
do
point.
this.
That's a
Like,
good
I mean, we're actually just not listening to what the man is saying. If we're like,
That's a
let's
good
take
point.
it to BKFC.
Yeah, but the UFC could just say thanks, but no thanks.
Of course.
And-
To Rick's point earlier of like Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista types, if not Tony Ferguson, like who could Cerrone potentially be fighting?
And he's saying he wants 2 more, so now you have to find
Yeah.
another one like this. It just becomes more complicated than the UFC. When you take it outside
Diaz?
the UFC, yeah, but that's not in the UFC. Or you're talking about Nick?
You could be.
Cowboy versus Nick Diaz?
I just
still
feel
don't-
like there's more options outside the UFC, and also like to the point we're making about like, okay, now you have to enter this pool and do the testing again and all that. Like, I don't know. It's just it becomes more complicated, and that level is different.
So ultimately,
I
it
don't
seems
mind
like you guys
BKFC.
aren't that into this idea. of
I'm not clamoring
no one's
for
foaming.
it. No,
Certainly
definitely
not. The
foaming
Ferguson
for
one is a tough one, right? I mean, because that like we just saw him, and none of those fights have been awfully competitive. The
Correct.
recent ones.
He's
tough to
getting
watch.
finished in
Yeah.
his most recent fights.
And this is not a like dream fight that we didn't get. They fought. Like this is not one that we're like, oh, really wish we had this one. No, we literally had this one. It's not like
That's a good point.
it's not the one that I'm
Yeah.
going, I needed to see it. We saw it. We literally saw it. So it's, again, it is not about like that I don't want to ever see Cowboy Cerrone or Tony Ferguson. It's just like this is not what the UFC is, right? Like we would hope to think that the UFC is the highest level of the sport, fighters fighting at their absolute best and competing for championships. Now I understand that the entertainment part of it has become more prominent, and this is what the fans want, and the UFC is feeding them as they desire. But at a certain level, like, do we need this? Like, there could be other outlets. I think the BKFC, like, the damage that they would take in BKFC, certainly I can't be the one responsible for kind of putting them in there. They have to make that decision on their own. But I wouldn't mind seeing it outside the UFC, and BKFC seems fine to me. I would be okay with it.
Do you think he's okay with that? Do you think Cerrone
That's
is
up to
interested in
them.
a fight?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as the type who would not be okay with any form of violence, if I'm being honest. Like,
You know what the thing that comes to mind is in this stretch of time, and kudos to you, PT. Great interview with John Nash on last week's episode of The Crack, talking about the class action lawsuit. And since then, we've gotten a lot of these testimonials from the likes of Shane Carwin and others about the state that they're in and the limitations on their daily life and the health issues that they've now developed as a result of their fighting careers. And then you see 2 guys who have taken a lot of hits to the head, and you're like, if you have to come back, what is it going to look like for you in 10 years? Like, we always said this about MMA. People would compare the safety of MMA to boxing, and they would compare the state of MMA fighters to boxers, and it's like boxing had a 100-year head start. So there's a lot more data and examples to work with in terms of what it does to your body. And now we're starting to see MMA as a 30-year-old adult, and we're starting to see our heroes of 10, 15 years ago in this post-fighting stage, and you're starting to see the ramifications. It leaves you a little bit more uncomfortable. We were all kind of flying by, being like, isn't this great? You get punched in the head a lot, and there's no issues. There's no serious injuries. There's no deaths. There's no this or that. But now you're starting to see what the guys who were stars in 2010, 2011, 2012 are dealing with. And you see this, and you're like, ugh, this is a little bit tough to swallow.
Every fighter thinks they have more fights left in them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. They all walk away. Some are like, oh, I'm so happy to retire. 2 months later, they're thinking, you know what, I'm getting that itch again. And it's actually quite logical. That is what they are. that is their identity. It's not just a job. It's not just a 9-to-5 job. Their whole identity is being a fighter. Every time they get a fight, they have an objective to point their life towards. You'll often talk to fighters immediately after a big win, and they're depressed because they don't have that beacon in the distance that they're guiding their life towards. I think that's one of the things that fighters suffer most with when they retire. And I think a guy like Cerrone, as Rick mentioned earlier, a guy who we know for, his passion when it comes to this game, a guy who loves being in the mix. I'm not surprised at all that he wants to come back. But to your point on the testimonials, like I'm hearing Brendan Schaub, a good friend of Shane Carwin's, talking about him today, and some of the things he's saying are absolutely horrifying and very sad, especially when you think that Shane Carwin was a qualified engineer when he was fighting in the UFC, to think of where he's at now. But eventually these guys need to be saved from themselves. And unfortunately, Cerrone is in that kind of wheelhouse at the moment where maybe he does need to be saved from himself and potential damage he could take for a UFC return.
All right. Well, not trying to start the show, and great stuff there from all of you. Not trying to start the show on a somewhat somber note, but these two items came up at the same time, in addition to Mike Perry, and so wanted to address them at the top. But like I said, a lot more fun to discuss on today's program, and there's a couple other things on the back end. We'll be joined by the guys that I wanted to discuss. Came out last night, and in reference to the rankings, which I think my take on the state of the UFC rankings and what they should do with the UFC rankings, I actually think will surprise many of you. I think you will be very surprised. So we will talk about that and a lot more as today's program rolls on. We have a stretch of ATT fighters that will be joining us as well, back to back to back to back. But first, let us begin with the king of the featherweight division. Let us begin with the man who is returning to action in his very first title defense on October the 26th. It's in Abu Dhabi. It's going down in less than 2 weeks' time, and it's one of the most anticipated fights of the year. In fact, I believe some members of our team have said it's the one that they can't wait for the most. It's Max Holloway, the former champion at 145, going up against, like I said, the new king at 145. He is the pride of Georgia and Spain. He is El Matador. He is the one and only Ilia Topuria. There he is. What a setting. How are you, Ilia? Great to see you, my friend.
Very good.
And I want to say to you off the top, happy, let me get this right, Sevetiskovloba? Did I say that right?
What's that? Svetiskolova. Svetiskolova. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's a celebration in Georgia. Actually, a very important day for us. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Amazing. I totally butchered that. I'm sorry. I tried my best.
Svetiskolova.
There it is. Okay.
That's great. But the try counts.
Thank you. By the way, what about this setting? Where are you? Are you in your royal palace in the? I saw that plane that you took to get over there. What is this setting? Where are you right now?
I'm here at home, staying where I'm staying here in Abu Dhabi. Actually, a very beautiful place.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. They're treating you well out there.
Yeah, very good. They're treating me like a king.
That's right, as you deserve. I saw that plane that you took as well. Life is good for you as champion.
Life is good. Life is good as a champion. It's always been very good for me, to be honest.
And by the way, also, since we spoke, you welcomed a baby into the world. Congratulations to you and your partner.
Thank you very much.
How is the baby doing? How is everyone doing?
Amazing. She's like a princess, growing every day. It's something amazing to watch her every day. She starts doing new things day by day, so it's something amazing. It's a gift by God.
The fact that this comes right before your first title defense as UFC champion, do you feel like it gives you a little more motivation, a little more strength going into the fight?
Oh, of course, it's always a huge motivation when you get a new life in your family. So, of course, it's a huge motivation for me.
Amazing.
It is.
And so what about your mindset and how you're feeling and your confidence? Because this is your first time fighting as champion, as opposed to being the hunter, you're now the hunted, right? They're coming to take your belt away. Do you feel any different this time around? Does the preparation, the build-up feel different?
No, to be honest, I feel the same way I always felt. in the past, the preparation was the same, always adding and new things in my preparation. But yeah, it's the same thing as always, cutting the weight, getting ready for the fight. And I can't wait to be honest. I always wanted to fight with Max Holloway, share the octagon with him, and here we are. October 26th.
You had an opportunity to do this this face-to-face with him around a week or so ago. How did you feel about that in the aftermath? Like, did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? Like being there with your opponent and speaking to him, what did you think of it?
To be honest, I feel him a little bit distracted, scared. I don't know. He doesn't seem to be like the same way with me than the other opponents he had in the past.
You got a cameraman following you there, huh?
Yeah, I have this man. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but
You don't know who he is?
yeah, I know who he is because we are recording the movie, so they follow me everywhere I go.
Okay, all right. Yeah, look at you. And your movie just came out. Your other one came out, right? September 19th, I think it was.
Exactly.
In theaters.
And all the cinemas in Spain.
Wow.
We keep having the movie in all the cinemas. It went really, really good.
Will it be available to us here in the States?
Hopefully yes. We are trying to put it in every country, so hopefully yes.
Okay. Going back to Max, just like, why did you feel that way? Why did you feel like he didn't have the confidence as usual?
I don't know. When we were like, I was talking to him, he was all the time like, Max, do you think you are going to win? We're gonna find out October 26th. We're gonna find out October 26th. Max, what's your surname? We're gonna find out October 26th. Like everything I understood from that conversation was, we will find out what's gonna happen on October 26th. I already know what's gonna happen on October 26th. I don't need to wait till that date.
Did it bother you when he was talking about the way you were speaking English? I know at one point you said, this is not my first language. Let's do it in Spanish, whatever.
I don't care, Ariel.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm trying my best. I was talking to his language, which is the only language he knows to speak. So if he wants to try to do it in Spanish and German and Russian and Georgian, I'm able to do it. So I don't care.
Fair enough. At one point, you said that you believe that he didn't want to fight you, that he was trying to fight Michael Chandler.
Exactly.
Is that true? This is what you've heard?
Yeah.
Really?
He was avoiding to fight me all the time. He said something like, no, I said to the UFC, I want the easiest fight. I want to fight with Ilia Topuria. That's a lie. A challenger never chooses fights. Never. I'm the champion. I choose who I want to fight next. And I said, I want to fight Max Holloway. And they told me he's asking to stay in the 155 division to fight with Mike Chandler. I don't know. He asked about many guys, and when they told him, no, Max, you have to fight with Ilia because he wants to fight you. So finally he had to accept it. But in the beginning he was trying really hard to avoid me.
And so why did you want to fight him and no one else at 145?
Because I fought with Wolf, which was one of the biggest names in the featherweight division. And now we have Max Holloway, who fought with every champion that we had in the featherweight division. So I wanted to do that. And he had this performance in UFC 300 against Justin Gaethje. He got that BMF belt. So I wanna get it back and give it to George Masvidal when he comes back.
Okay, and
because that belt was created for and because of him. So no one else in my eyes is the BMF. I don't know, less Max Holloway.
So why isn't that belt on the line?
I don't know. Ask him. I don't know.
Do you think that was his decision or the UFC's decision?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. But I don't care. I don't care.
You're not bothered by it because it seems like you want the belt. Don't you want it?
No, I don't want it. I don't give a fuck about that belt, to be honest. But he calls himself the BMF, so we already know who is the world champion. And in the first seconds of the fight, we're gonna find out who is the real BMF, because I already challenged him in the first 10 seconds of the fight. I'm gonna point the ground, and we'll see what he's going to do. I will be in the middle of the octagon, so let's bang, bro. If you're ready, I was born ready.
Well, so you are predicting this. You are saying first 10 seconds, you're going to walk to the middle of the cage. You're going to point down.
First 10 seconds, I'm gonna point the middle of the octagon, and I will stay there. I want to give the best and the most excited 10 seconds in the UFC history to the fans. They deserve it. And if he stays in the middle, I promise I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to take his head off. I prepare myself for that. So,
do you think he'll meet you? Do you think he'll meet you there?
I don't know. We'll see. He's calling himself the BMF. So that's one of the things we're gonna find out, if he's the BMF or he's a pussy like everyone who is predicting that I'm going to lose to Max Holloway. All the UFC fighters, I watched the predictions of all the UFC fighters. They are predicting that he's going to beat me. All the bombs. Fuck you, everyone. After I'm gonna knock him out. Don't even tell me hello if you see me around. Fuck yourself, everyone.
Who's doing this? Who's saying this? Who's picking against you?
I don't know, many fighters. I don't even wanna tell you the names.
Okay.
Because I don't wanna give importance about them. Fuck them all.
But you're taking notes.
I'm taking notes. Taking notes. They all like snakes in the grass because they see you around, and then they acting like a fans. But when they have to do something, no, Max is going to beat him. Maybe they feel a little bit of envy.
Do you think part of it is because Max has been around for so long, and so they're paying homage to the legend, and you're so confident, and you're the new champ, so they're leaning towards him just out of respect, as opposed to what they really think is going to happen? Does that come to mind, or no?
I don't care. I don't care. I just want them to watch the fight October 26th and take notes about the new generation of MMA, about the skills, about the techniques, about everything that I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna teach them a little bit about MMA.
By the way, can we clear up the belt situation? Because he said that you bought the belt. Did you in fact buy the PMF title? And if so, how much did it cost?
I don't know. Someone from my team, he bring it to me, but I don't know if he bought it or what he did. But I think he bought it.
Are you gonna bring it to the fight or to the fight week?
Yeah. Of course. I'm gonna bring it. It's mine. I own it.
Fair enough.
I own it.
Fair enough. There is that shot, and he referenced it. They put you on camera after he knocked out Justin Gaethje, and people were saying that it looked like you didn't want him to win, or that you were spooked by it. Can you tell us what you were thinking in that moment?
The first thing I said, it was like, thanks to God, it happens this way, because now we have a clear opponent for my next fight. So, to be honest, I was really bored during the whole fight. You know, watching two guys fighting inside the octagon, running around during 5 rounds. But the last 10 seconds were really excited for me, for the fans, for everyone. But I didn't see, to be honest, any technique behind that knockout, and he knows that. It was like exchanging the bar, and he get the knockout, but it wasn't because he was looking for the knockout.
You weren't impressed. You were impressed by the because I thought it was a very one-sided fight in his favor. Like, some people have called it the fight of the year. I don't really think it was the fight of the year because it was so one-sided. Maybe the knockout of the year, but you're not.
Maybe the knockout of the year, because the only good thing about that fight was the last 10 seconds. But how you can say that it was the fight of the year? No fucking way. That wasn't the fight of the year. No way. The fight of the year was me against Volkanovski. That was the fight of the year.
Or maybe this one coming up on October 26th.
Yeah, maybe this one.
But you
Maybe
know,
this one, but this one is gonna be like really, really, really fast. So
Wow.
I don't know how it's gonna be the fight of the year.
when you say fast, you think first round?
I don't think I know that it's gonna be in the first round. He's not on my level. Volkanovski, the guy who beat him 3 times, guy who whooped his ass for 3 times, I knock him out in the second round. And what makes you think that I'm not gonna knock him out in the first round?
So you think that Alex tougher opponent than Max for you? Styles
For
make fights.
sure. For me and for everyone.
Wow.
For me and for everyone. Alex was really, really tough opponent for me, and he's a tough opponent for everyone. He didn't lose in the featherweight division for how long? And Max, how many times he get whooped like in the featherweight division? He get beat by Conor McGregor. When you get beat by Conor McGregor, shut the fuck up. Fuck, bro, forget about it. When Conor McGregor beats you, forget about it.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I saw him in Marbella, and I'm sure you saw this as well. He said he's more Spanish
he
than
went
you.
to Marbella. He's more Spanish. Yeah, I also when I see myself in the mirror below my waist, I also think sometimes I'm more African than Francis Ngannou.
So when you hear him say that, what do you think?
He's a fake fighter. He fakes all the time that he's gonna fight. I'm fighting Mike Chandler. I'm fighting this, and the greatest comeback. Fight. Why you don't fight? Fighter fights every day.
What do you think is his
He's
issue
a
with
fake
you?
fighter.
Because I've heard him mention you a lot, and he gets very, very fired up when talking about you.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him, but as I told you, he's a fake fighter. He fakes the fight all the time, but I don't see him fight.
You don't
He's
think?
like, I'm gonna come back and this and that. Bro, fight. Fight. Put your name in the table. What the fuck are you doing? But he wants to be in the conversation all the time, but he doesn't want to fight. How's that?
Do you think he fights again? 2025?
If he fights, he's gonna try to come back and do something, but guess who's gonna pick? Dan Hooker. Bro.
What do you mean by what?
Fight Dan Hooker, fight, I don't know who the fuck you want, but for me, he's retired. For me, he's retired. I don't want to even like talk about him. A guy who is retired is like, I feel bad. But about a guy that talk about a guy who's retired. And he's at the same time retired.
But surely, like Ilia Topuria versus Conor McGregor, you would welcome this, right? If it's a real thing,
That's never gonna happen.
never.
That's never gonna happen. Never.
Why?
How? Because I'm the world champion. He's not even in the rankings. How's that's gonna happen? But we can do something if he wants. For my next training camp, for my next fight, I invite him, and I don't know. I invite him with Dan Hooker, and they can do like 2.5 minutes one, 2.5 another. I change them each like every round. We can do that.
That's it. That's all you're interested
But
in.
yeah, because our official fight, that's impossible. And right now at this point, I have much bigger fights than Conor McGregor. Conor McChicken.
What
He went to Marbella when I was in Abu Dhabi.
What's the issue with Islam? I see you guys going back and forth as well. What's the problem there? Do you feel like it's getting too personal?
No, I don't have anything personal with him. Anything personal
Is
with
that
Islam.
is
I
that
don't have any issue. The only point is that he's the world champion in the lightweight division. I want to move up to lightweight division, and I wanna face him in the future. And if he's not anymore the lightweight champion because he lose his belt against someone, I don't even care about him.
okay?
I wish him all the best. But I said something like I want to face him in the octagon, and all his cousins came out. When I see you on the street and when I see you around, I'm gonna do this and that. And oh, shut the fuck up! Shut up! You don't gonna do anything. So shut up.
You think they're trying to intimidate you?
How?
Because like, and I know
Telling me that they gonna punch me around?
They said you went back and forth, or you sent something about Usman as well. Like it just seemed like they were all kind of coming at you there.
That guy, they caught him with the steroids, right? In the last year.
With the PD.
That's why he's so nervous, because it affects a lot in the nervous system. Steroids. That's why he's so angry all the time.
Okay, so there's no issue there with Islam, and that is good to hear. I did read your tweet about Bilal Muhammad, and this
Conor is a fake fighter, and he's a fake champion.
What's the issue there?
Champion.
No finishes, no knockouts,
no knockdowns, no girlfriend, no kids.
Bilal has never finished.
Never finished any man or woman.
This is some kind of tweet. This is
because a real champion finishes fights. He knocks people out. He submits people. If not, how you call yourself a champion? I don't know. A world champion.
So what prompted this? Because you're 45, he's 170. That's not something that's happening anytime soon. So why did you start this, or why did you respond this way?
Because he said something like, "If you want a street fight, we're gonna street fight you. If you want this," he said some bullshit. I don't remember really good, but he said something about me that it was like, oh, finish someone, man or woman, it doesn't matter, but finish someone.
In a way, though, Ilia, isn't this the dream? Everyone's coming at you. Conor McGregor's coming at you. The 170 champs. Everyone's taking shots, and they're taking shots because you're the king of the division.
Bienvenidos.
Yes.
Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. They want some lights right now because I'm shining right now. I'm shining. And after October 26th, I'm going to shine even more and more and more. And they are scared about the shine I bring. They are scared. They want to take a little piece of that.
We spoke after the win over Volk, and we talked about Bernabeu, and we saw the footage of you coming out there and Sergio Ramos, and it was incredible, the scenes in Georgia and in Spain. Was it ever discussed for this fight to be at the Bernabeu?
So yeah, we had some conversations to bring the UFC in Spain, especially in the Bernabeu. But you know, it's sometimes it's a little bit hard to deal with the UFC because they have their points, which is real very entendible. ¿Cómo sería entendible? Valid, yeah, which is really valid. So we'll see what's the future is holding for us. But I'm very sure that we're going to have a UFC in Spain in 2025.
Oh, wow. Spain arena, you think, or football stadium?
I want to do it in the Bernabeu Stadium.
Wow.
I don't know. I want to do it. I want to do it because I know that it's going to be the highest UFC gate in the history. It's going to be the biggest event. So I'm gonna try my best, and all the time when I try my best, plays how I want.
Who would be the ideal opponent for you in that setting, if you had it your way?
I don't know. Before I used to make more predictions about this, like who I wanna face next, this and that. But at this point, it's like, I don't know. Whoever the UFC wants me to face, I will be there. The only thing I want to do is to fight in front of all my people in Spain in the Bernabeu Stadium to keep making history. So I don't care who's the opponent's going to be.
That's fair. What about 55? How far away do you think you are from 55? How many fights?
How many fights? I can do it after this one.
Do you want to do it after this one? Like already, or
I want to do it. I want to do it. But the thing is, what the UFC wants me to do.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a fighter, and that's my job. and they know better than me who I should to fight. So if they tell me that they are okay, that I'm gonna move to 155, I will do it because I want to do it. It's easier for me to weight cut. I feel very good that at that way. I already did it. I already fought at 155 in London against Joy Herbert. So I felt really good. So I want to do it once again, and for the world title, because I don't wanna do it with any different opponent.
Two last things. Can I just ask you about the scene back home in Georgia that you saw Merab receive when he won? Did you see those images? That was incredible, right? What is going on over here in Georgia? Between the soccer team, you guys had a great run in the Euro. You winning, Merab, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's a huge motivation for the country. I think so. And Merab, man, he's a great person. Beside of that, he's the world champion and this and that. He's a great person. He deserves everything that's happening to him because he's the man. Trust me, he's a very, very good person. All heart.
You watched that fight? I'm assuming yes, right?
Of course, I watched that fight. Of course, I did.
He did great. Do you think, because we had Sean on yesterday, Sean believes he won the fight.
Bro, Sean, I don't know. That guy smokes so much that he lost his mind. I recommend him to watch the fight again and again. Do you imagine if O'Malley is in the position of Merab and Merab says that he won that fight? What he would say? So, bro, shut the fuck up.
We'll end on Max. October 26th. There's a lot of talk going into this fight, Ilias. You know, this renaissance, the comeback of Max since the Volk last fight, right? That he's a new man.
Bro,
that he's
and still, there's no chances for Max. Forget about it. The only thing I'm praying every day is that I want him to show up because I'm gonna do the rest. We already know who is the world champion. We're gonna find out that I'm the BMF also. I will be there in the middle of the octagon in the first 10 seconds. I want to offer the most excited first seconds in the UFC history, and I want to have the fastest knockout in the UFC history also with my hands because George has it with a knee. I want to do it with the hand. So let's go. I'm so excited. I don't have any doubts that I'm gonna knock him out. So if he stays in the middle in the first 10 seconds of the fight, we're going to see the fastest knockout in the UFC history.
Love it. Ilia, thank you so much.
Let's go, Max. Show up.
I can't wait. We are 11 days away. Good luck to you, my friend. Thank you for the time, as always. Appreciate it. And enjoy your time out there. Pleasure. It's great to see that they're treating you so well.
Thank you very much, Ariel. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Always. Talk to you soon. There he is, the king of the 145-pound division, El Matador, Ilia Topuria. I was thinking of Connor's picture behind him right over there of Max Holloway. That scene, that photo that our friend Cooper Neal took. Could you imagine, guys? That one right there.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's the one a second after. Could you imagine?
Instead of the end of the 5th round, we're at the first 10 seconds of the fight.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Could you imagine? You guys are doing the watch party. There it is. Look at that.
Watch party.
There it is. And don't forget, early start time, 1:45 p.m. Eastern because of the, look at the boys.
Look at us.
Look at the boys front and
branding
center.
Team now.
Fucking
We look
hell.
fantastic.
Bro, could you imagine?
If he really comes out there and does it and points to the center of the octagon in the first 10 seconds.
By the way, I have no doubt he's going to do it. And I have no doubt Max will oblige. Could you imagine if they have that moment?
I'm starting to sweat right now. I mean, this is, I can't wait. I've said many times how much I'm anticipating this fight. If they really come out there and do it, I'm going to go crazy.
Yo, could you freaking imagine?
That Max Holloway moment is probably the craziest I've ever gone watching a UFC fight.
Oh, it's the moment of the year. In many respects, it's the knockout of the year. I still maintain it's not the fight of the year. And that's not a knock on Max. It's that it was so one-sided.
I agree with you. I actually agree with what Ilia said. It was kind of just like ho-hum for Max. Like that's what made the moment so special. He had the fight in hand, and he was willing to put it all on the line like that.
Max Bless. Last time we had him on the show was in studio last June. Come on. We got a few
Bro
more
was
days.
chilling that day too.
It was a
man.
great
Snoozing
show.
in the green room,
Yeah.
hanging out in the control room in the back. Showed up by himself. That's just what you get with the dude from Hawaii. Just super chill. But man, they're gonna lay it all on the line. I can't wait.
There is a brashness and a cockiness and a confidence from Ilia that is so much fun to just watch and witness, and you could see how he annoys people or gets on their nerves. The fighters, right? As he was talking about everyone picking against him, because Max is beloved. Who doesn't like Max Holloway, right? So I don't know what video he's talking about, but I'm not surprised that they're picking against him because they all want him to get his comeuppance. That makes it so fun. It's the beloved legend, the king of yesteryear, going up against the new kid on the block who just happens to be so incredibly confident. It's amazing.
And Max is so hot right now after UFC 300. Like, everyone just loves him so much. If he can get his belt back by giving Ilia Topuria his first loss, like, I mean, you talk about baby faces in the UFC, Alex Pereira at the top of the list. Max Holloway will be right there with him if he gets it done.
Oh my gosh. That's a great, I have to say, it's a card. I don't know if it's flying under the radar or it's just because we just had UFC 307, but I saw a photo of Robert Whittaker. Like, I had to remind myself that Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev are fighting in 11 days. I mean, look at this card.
It's so sick.
This is a great card. First of all,
Murphy, Dan Ige is a great fight too.
Lerone Murphy, Dan Ige is fantastic at featherweight. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic might be the number one contender fight at 205. And an incredibly important fight for Ankalaev in particular, because if he slips,
it's over.
He's done, you know?
Never getting the title shot.
He's got to win, and dare I say he has to win in impressive fashion, because even if it's a ho-hum decision, they'll be like, nah, not good enough.
And let's not forget, Rakic looked great in that Yuri fight up until,
he did.
Like halfway through the second round. Like, he was looking great through that first round. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a really interesting card. I can't wait for it.
Whittaker Khamzat is...
It's just...
Who's the favorite in that?
Khamzat.
Is Khamzat the favorite?
Let me get you the
I feel like people
right
have
now.
just kind of lost faith in him.
I think they've lost faith in him getting to the octagon, but I feel like once he gets to the octagon, it's... I mean, he's still undefeated. No one's defeated him yet. Yeah, Khamzat minus 190 right now.
And what's Rob?
Plus 165. Ilia Topuria minus 250. Max Holloway plus 210.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Magomed Ankalaev minus 360 over Alexander Rakic.
Man, minus 360. No love for Rakic.
Jeff Neal RDA's on this card?
Jeff Neal RDA's on that card.
It's a great card, man.
That's on the prelims?
I think so, man. It's a great card.
UFC 309. Wow.
Said Nurmagomedov. Mike Tibek oral buy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good card, dude. It's a good card.
Shire Bullet.
Afternoon start. You're getting fights at 10 a.m. for the prelims.
Damn, there's a lot of freaking fights on this
I
card.
think we're getting Chris Barnett versus
Yes,
Kennedy
we are.
kicking us off at 10 a.m. Cup of coffee.
Yeah,
you can't ask for more.
yeah, now you're
6'5" versus 5'9". Beast Boys back representing not only Spain but also Athens, Georgia.
Oh, that's right.
Go Dog! Shout out Chris Barnett. Yeah, I can't wait. The more we talk about it, the more excited I'm getting.
All right, well, that's 308. We have some time. For now, though, let's go back to Paris just a few weeks ago. What a scene it was, as friend of the program, Manny Moicano, Renato Moicano to be exact, went up there in enemy territory and went up against a man who a lot of people predicted at the beginning of the year would be the maybe lightweight champion, or at least like one step away from being either a lightweight champion or lightweight contender. That's how highly everyone thought of Benoit Saint Denis, and we still think very highly of him, but it has been a rough year for him with the loss, of course, to Dustin Poirier, and then the loss to Manny Moicano, and it was so darn impressive, and equally impressive, if not more, was the post-fight interview in the cage. It was incredible stuff from Manny Moicano, and so we wrote down, okay, when we're back, we have to have Manny Moicano on. He is kind enough to join us. The money man is here. Is he there? Yes. Renato Moicano. How are you, my friend? Congratulations. Parabéns.
Obrigado. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ariel. What's up, everybody?
It's good to talk to you. Yes, we are here. It's a new era, and you are on fire, my friend. What a performance that was. Honestly, when you were thinking about the fight, when you were thinking about how it would play out for you against a tough guy like that, the Army guy, hostage, he deals with hostage takeovers and stuff like that. Did you think it would be that dominant for you? Did you believe that?
Yeah, actually, yes, because I was so ready for the fight, and I was at the same time I was happy to get the fight, but he was coming off a loss for Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is a legend, but I knew because he lost, people would say now, like you're saying, I don't think BSD is that good, but he is very good. But I knew my game for him would be very hard because my grappling, I think I'm the best grappler in the division, especially controlling with the jiu-jitsu and stuff. And now with the ground and pound, it's going to be very hard to stop me.
Okay, but what about the shoulder? Let's take a step back. You showed us
It's okay.
what's going
a little
on.
bit,
That is it. It's sticking out.
Yeah, it's sticking out, but it's 100%, brother. It's not bothering me.
What is that? Okay, what happened?
I have a AC joint dislocation, total separation. So I tore the ligaments of the AC joint and from the back. But I'm not doing surgery. You know, I just have to deal with some pain. But now it's much better.
Okay, but like, are there limitations? That's your right arm, right? That's your right arm?
Yes.
What about
Yes.
punching, grappling, takedowns, clinch? Are there any limitations?
Not really. Mostly Spain, you know, but I'm doing therapy and I'm putting ice. I'm doing everything that I can to be to help with the injury, and it's getting way better. So I think it's okay. I don't want to lose like 6 months, you know, doing surgery. I have been saying that I'm 35. I am feeling really good, and I want to fight as soon as possible.
When did this happen?
3 weeks before the fight.
And at that point, did you think you were going to have to pull out?
Now, on the first day, like when it happened, I was so sad because I knew that was a big main event, and I thought, okay, I fucked up my shoulder, so I cannot fight. So I just was thinking about one more day. Let me try one more day. So every day I was doing therapy, going to the doctor. Dr. Gelby over here in Florida was helping me a lot. Dan from Force Therapy and my strength and conditioning coach, Nikolai, they were helping me every day. And I saw like getting better. So first day, a lot of pain. Second day, a lot of pain. I was not training for the first week. And then like 10 days after, I was feeling a little bit better, doing drills and doing stuff. And like a week before the fight, I had like my first and my last sparring session. And I feel that's it. I'm not gonna pull out. I'm beating this guy in France. Doesn't matter.
Incredible. Now, have you ever been to France prior to this trip?
No, first time in Europe. First time
In Europe?
Yes, I never been to Europe before.
Wow. Okay, so what did you
Yeah.
think of Paris as a place to visit, as a tourist? Now, we'll get to the politics and all that in a moment, but just when you were there, the City
Yeah.
of Lights, the Eiffel Tower, what did you think of it all?
I thought that I was expecting a very bad place, you know, because the way people talk about Paris and with the immigration and all that stuff, and like I thought that would be like, let's say Los Angeles, LA, right? Something like that. But the place that I was, Paris is a beautiful city, my brother. Like very, everything is very old and the architecture and everything. I was very surprised and was good because I went over there 10 days before the fight, so I could go to the historical places, into the places in Paris, and it is a great city.
So you went early so you could do some sightseeing.
Yeah, so I went to the Louvre, I went to all the places, like the historical places, and it is a very nice city.
And did you go alone to these places or did you bring someone with you?
No, I was with my coaches. I bring two coaches on the 10 days, and my other coach, he was helping other fighters, so he went over there on Monday.
Which
So
sorry, go ahead.
yes, no. So we went to the Louvre, and I did all the, like I said, the historical places. So was a very nice. I'll not say like vacation because I went over there to work, but it was good to come like 10 days before the fight.
Which site did you like the most? Which stop?
The Louvre, I think was the best, you know. So go over there and see all the history. I post some photos on my Instagram, the Louvre, and see like the pictures and the I don't know how to say that, like quadros in Portuguese, the paintings. Some of paintings are older than Brazil. I
Wow.
saw paintings from like 1400s, stuff very, very old. And it is what it is. Paris and France, a lot of history. And especially me, I live in Florida, there is no, and in Brazil is the same, like especially on Brasilia, my city. So not much history. Everything's very new. So I was really surprised with all the beautiful things that I saw in Paris.
How would you, I know you were cutting weight and all that, but assuming at some point you got to eat the food, and I was actually there in Paris for 3 weeks. I was at the Olympics prior to you in July. I was very disappointed in the coffee. I thought the coffee was lackluster. What was your take on the food, the coffee? What did you take? Did you get to actually take in any of this stuff?
Actually, I couldn't eat because I was cutting weight.
Yeah.
So I was more doing the UFC food and stuff. So I didn't have, like, I couldn't.
No croissant, even after the fact? Nothing?
No, after the fight, the least thing that you want to do is eat, because I was so pumped with the victory, especially the way to us. So I didn't really had the opportunity to eat on Paris.
Okay. Now you win the fight, and now for me, it's become must-see TV. You on the microphone has become. I mean, they should charge just for that. I would pay pay-per-view just to hear you on the microphone after the fight. Did you plan any? Here you are talking about French history, French politics. You're talking to the crowd. You're saying all kinds of things. Was that something you planned, or was it all spur of the moment, top of your head?
Let me tell you something, Ariel. First, I wanted to do the same thing like Brian Battle did,
He was incredible.
I want to go over there and say, fuck you, Paris, because I knew I was going to enemy territory. And when I was talking to my coaches, they say, you have to be the bad guy for this fight because they love Benoit Saint Denis. Like you say, he was from Army. Everybody gonna love him. So, okay, I'm going to talk some shit to these guys. And then Brian Battle said that. And I was doing the warm-up, and I was, man, that's not going to work because Brian Battle did. So I have to come up with something else. And then after the win, I just say that kind of stuff, but was not playing, was not playing.
Why do you go that direction? What prompts you to talk about that as opposed to who you want next? You use it as a platform to really wax poetic and speak on larger than fighting topics. Why do you do that?
Because I'm a Christian, I really do believe in Jesus Christ. And all the time I'm reading some books, right? From politics, economics, and like a lot of people, especially in school, talk about French Revolution and how that was good for the Republic and how Republic saved us. And a lot of people don't know. And they even say the French Revolution inspired American Revolution. But how that could be if American Revolution was 1776 and French Revolution was 1789, and even though they had the same ideals of liberalism, of republicanism, there is a huge difference between French Revolution and American Revolution. American Revolution, the founding fathers, they want they don't want tyranny, they don't want the monarchy, charging taxes and like imposing their religions, because if you remember on England, Henrique VIII, he found a church like Anglican church. So they were persecuting Protestant and Baptists on England and all over Europe, because most of Europe was Catholic at the time. And like I say, Henry VIII was Anglican. He found his own church. So they moved to the colonies, to the America, to profess their own faith, to be Protestant. And they found the 13 colonies. And everything about America I like, because was decentralized, less power to the government, more power to the people. But one thing they were all in common, they all believe in God. So the founding fathers, when they did the Constitution, and they were talking about the fundamental rights of people, they say it's self-evidence. This is a true, and believe by God that every human being is free to have private property, to have freedom, and to have the right to live the way they want. So they were Protestant, they believe in God. In the French Revolution, they didn't believe in God. Actually, they killed more than 40,000 people, and they tried to destroy church. So I feel the same way right now. Some of these leaders nowadays, they don't like God, and they don't like you to believe in God, because they want government to be their own God, with money, with central banks, with even democracy. I'm not against democracy, but I recommend this book called Hans Hermann Hoppe, Democracy, the God That Failed Us, because in this book, this explains like there is nothing to gain and give power to these representatives, because in the end of the day, it's a contest of popularity, and the majority is not always right. So that's what my whole thought on that, because I was reading the book, and that was the right moment, being on France, on Paris, in a main event. I just wish I could finish in a guillotine. That would be even better.
Yes, of course. the French guillotine. I love listening to you speak about all these things, and for me, I try to always have an open mind. So, and I'm not saying I disagree, because I actually don't disagree, but I think some people get offended when you say something, especially when it comes to religion or politics, that they don't agree with. And I think that's part of the problem with our society, that we don't have an open mind and that we can't have these conversations. For example, I think it's crazy that if I ask you right now, who are you voting for in the elections? It's like, oh, no, that's personal. Why is it personal? I want to learn. I want to understand why you feel this way. And I can still love you and respect you, even though we don't vote for the same person or have the same beliefs. We should all be able to respect each other. And so I say that because I wonder, when you talk like this, when you speak about these things, do you get a lot of blowback? Like, did you feel that heat? Did you feel uncomfortable in Paris when you spoke like this on the microphone?
Yeah, I was, but at the same time, a lot of the French people, they feel represented about that, because they, and somebody even say after the fight, say, hey, Moicano, I'm really happy that you say that, because we don't have the First Amendment like in the USA. So if somebody say like that, they could be even on the jail. We saw on England, people going to the jail because hate speech. So if you say something that the government doesn't like, they're going to put you in the jail. And I don't like that way. I think people should be free. People should mind their own business. I don't care about what you do in your personal life, and the government should not catch you. But my whole problem with the premise is that, like you're saying, I don't care about who you vote. I think all politics are bad. I think politicians are bad. I don't like politicians. I don't like the government. That being said, I think some politicians are better than others. Politicians that fight for your freedom, and they say, I want low taxes rate. I don't want a government trying to persecute people. And if I can, I want to talk about my sponsor, Pacific Legal Justice. They fight for people against the government. So Pacific Legal Foundation, if you want, check them out. They fight against the government. So my whole thing over here is, I think you as an individual have the right to be whoever you want, and government cannot try to impose their will. They cannot limit what you want to say. So that's why I recommend everybody to read, especially the Austrian economic writers. I think it's very important you to know that freedom of speech is really important, and freedom to defend yourself and private property. Of all things that matter, private property is the most important thing. And I'm not only talking about things, because Ariel, you have your show. So your show, your private property, If somebody say, no, you cannot say the things that you're saying, or if you cannot do the things that you're doing, I think that's wrong. So that's why I don't plan these things that I say, but sometimes it's just on my head, because I keep talking that all the time, And the problem is, this is not my first language, so yeah. I don't have the same competence to speak in English. But So you asking about the pushback and stuff, especially on Brazil right now, we're going through a lot of things when in regarding to freedom of speech, because a lot of people are getting serious problems with the government because of that. And I went to Brazil last week to talk about freedom of speech in a forum, to talk about democracy. So I know some people don't like, but other people, they depend on it, you know? So that's why I keep talking about these subjects.
By the way, when you're reading these books, are you reading them in Portuguese or English?
No, mostly in Portuguese. My reading English is very, I get very tired very fast. This is the thing. I don't like to read, you know? I don't like to read, but I do because I want to understand. It's like training. I don't like to train anymore. You know, on the beginning, I used to love training, and now I'm 35. I don't like to train, but I do either way, you know? I do because I know it's good for me. So if I can, every day I read like 2 pages of a book, and eventually I'm gonna understand. So I go slow, but I read in Portuguese because in English is very hard for me.
Did you need security after what you said on the microphone in France?
Not really, you know? Some people, they even like, you know, what I say, but again, I'm not trying to, of course it's good to have fans, you know, a good fan base, but I'm not trying to get a fan base. I'm just trying to win in fights and say what I want, you know?
Okay. By the way, how many, what percentage of your purse was given to taxes?
Don't even tell me about that, my brother.
It's crazy.
A lot of money. And that's the other thing. I don't agree with that. I think that's socialism, you know, especially because I don't live in Paris. So think about that. If you go over there and UFC is going to Paris, they are generating a lot of jobs. They are creating a lot of wealth. So fighters are going over there, giving their lives, giving the brain cells, trying to push for a better life, trying to push for sport, trying to talk about stuff that matters. But once the government takes what you make, you know, your hard work, and this is private property. This is the whole thing with the Austrian economic books. They are telling you, your money is your private property too. So if government is seizing your money, they are taking your right to enjoy the fruits of your labor, of your hard work. And that's what they're doing, you know? And they are very bad to reallocate this money in good things. I don't think government does anything good. So you go over there, you try to make your money, and they take a lot of money. They're taking almost more than 50K. That's a lot of money just paid on taxes outside USA. And then I will have to pay taxes inside the USA, which I think I don't like taxes at all. But if we live above this law, we have to do that. But what are the incentives for me to fight in France again or to fight in Europe again? And they don't understand that, you know, because they think, no, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to put this money to help some people. But you have to remember what I say about democracy. Democracy is a popularity contest. So they're going to get this money that they collect from taxes, and they're going to put in another place to not to make people's life better, but to get votes. That's the whole problem. The whole incentive of politicians with democracy is to get your money and put in something that they're going to get votes. So I think the whole system is broke, and that's why I push everybody to understand Bitcoin, to understand economics, and you have to be able to defend yourself, your family, and you have to have faith in God. I know this is illogical for me because I grow up like that, and most of the people that I know, this is common sense. But if you push to people to have responsibility and common sense, nowadays they call you radical. But that's my message. My main message is nobody gonna save you. Government not gonna save you. Don't rely and don't depend on money from the government, because there is nothing that government gives to you that it doesn't take violently and brutally from somebody else. So if you're getting something from the government is robbing another man of his property, his property rights to give it to you. So I know that's not easy to say. I know, like the book say, nowadays democracy is like a god that nobody can contest. But I think we should think about. I don't know if laws or if like a plebiscito. I don't know how to call that, but we have to bring back the republic, not the democracy. People that contribute, people that pay taxes, they can vote. Otherwise, people that receive stuff from the government gonna keep vote on the government, gonna keep vote on people that give welfare, on people that like wealth distribution, and I don't like that. I think everything that, especially in MMA, I don't get mad with Conor. I don't get mad with Khabib. I don't get mad if somebody is better than me on MMA or if he makes more money, because in the end of the day, you have to rely and depend only on yourself. So my message here is you have to have responsibility to defend yourself, to feed your family, and to be honest, and to be honest and to be humble and to try to make your best of what you got, because nobody's equal. Nobody's equal. There is no equality. That's just a myth that governments tells you so they can keep everybody down.
Is Paddy Pimblett next?
I don't know. Doesn't matter,
That's the one. He wants you. You want him. Well, it's perfect. You're both on a streak. Why not now? Let's go.
UFC is going to protect him. That's 100%. He's not fighting Manny Moicano.
You don't think so?
Fighting. No.
He said he wants it. He said he's in.
I think I'm not trying to even discounting on him. I don't think he didn't accept the fight. But think about the company, UFC. What's the point of do this matchup? Manny Moicano going to smash Paddy Pimblett. It's one takedown, the fight is over, and they're gonna lose a very good product, because we cannot lie. Paddy Pimblett is a good product for the UFC.
So who makes sense? Who do you think is next for you?
But if they offer me the fight, of course I would. Of course, you know what's up. Of course, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have been hearing about Justin Gaethje fighting Dan Hooker. I know. I saw on the internet Dustin Poirier saying he got a fight. I don't really care. Doesn't really matter.
You'd fight Dustin?
No,
it's your teammate. Yeah.
No, he's my teammate, and not only that, what's the point of going a fight that I know I'm going to lose? I train with him all the time. What's the point of signing the contract, a fight, a guy that beats me up in the gym? So there is no point on that.
What about you versus Hooker? The turtle.
I like the matchup.
Turtle in the tree, I believe.
The turtle in the tree. I like the matchup, but the problem is, I don't think he wants the fight.
You don't think Dan Hooker? He seems down to fight anyone.
Of course not. Like McGregor is like the mermaid. Have you heard about the mermaid?
Me?
Singing?
Oh no.
Yeah, like the mermaid. The
mermaid.
The Greek.
Ariel is the mermaid. No.
Yeah, I think so. So maybe it's you.
Yeah, no, it's not me. It's not me. Who's the mermaid? Tell me about the mermaid.
No, the mermaid that is on the Greek text, on the Greek books, I think is Iliada. That is this. When the guy is on the ship and the mermaid start to sing, they jump on the water. And I think Dan Hooker is the same thing. So McGregor is over there and say, McGregor, hey, Dan Hooker, I will fight you. And Dan Hooker will forget everybody and everything and jump off the ship and try to get the mermaid. But guess what? This mermaid is just singing, is just lies. I think he's going to be waiting forever, like Michael Chandler. You remember last year on the show, you asked me, I don't remember if
I remember.
Was in that show.
Yes, it was.
But somebody asked me, if it was you, would you wait for McGregor? And I say no, and I don't think Chandler should, because the only thing that's for sure in this sport is one day I will not have the age and the time to fight. And this is my final moment. I'm 35. I think Dan Hooker is the same, like 30-something. So if you keep waiting for the perfect fight, you're going to draw, That's not happening. McGregor is not fighting Dan Hooker. Maybe they do Dan Hooker versus Gaethje, but McGregor is not happening.
And so, I saw you're very upset about the rankings, right? That they had you sixth. Dana White yesterday says he wants to radically change the rankings. I don't know if you saw this. Do you have an idea what they should do?
I don't have any idea because I saw Benoit talking about the EI, but the whole thing is the EI, somebody's programming the EI too. So the way they program the EI is the way the AI going to do the matchups. So I think would be best if we do like a way that is points, you know. So if you knock the guy out, or if you submit him, or if it's just a decision against a ranked guy, like point-based system, you know what I mean? I think that would be better. That would be more logical. But like I said before, I was talking shit on the rankings on the internet, but just to get the hype, you know. I was not really upset about that. I was just trying to get some clicks and to get some people to my YouTube because in the end of the day, rankings, they don't matter. And we just saw that. We just saw that because
Khalil Roundtree, number 8.
Yeah, Khalil Roundtree, number 8 fighting. And we saw Jamal Hill and we saw BSD, you know, we saw BSD. If he beat Dustin at the time, he would fight for the belt. You know, and I was saying that all the time. Everybody's talking high about BSD, but he didn't beat nobody. He's tough, he's strong, but he trains in France. He doesn't have wrestling, so I knew I would beat him. But my whole point over here is see how the rankings doesn't work really well. I don't care, but this is just a message. Imagine if Paddy Pimblett beat Benoit Saint Denis the way I did. First round, 10-7, doctor stoppage. Next week, he will be number 6, number 5. That's the reality. I don't care about that because, like I say, I just care about stuff that I can control. I know I'm way less marketable than Paddy Pimblett, but guess what? Fuck that. I'm making money. I'm living my best life, and I want to fight. I want to get back to the octagon as soon as possible to take advantage because on my mind, I am the best fighter on the lightweight division. I can beat anybody. I just cannot beat Dustin Poirier. The rest, I can beat everybody in this division.
Well, I think you're very marketable. I think you're killing it in the cage, out of the cage, your YouTube channel, your podcast, your merch. Everything is great. You're very entertaining to watch and listen to. There it is. Get it right now over at moneymoicano.com, yeah?
moneymoicano.com. That was my 20 win, so we have a promotion over there. If you can, support the channel, Money Moicano channel. And it's hard. It's not easy to be a fighter, to make this way to make a living is very hard. But I'm grateful for God, for destiny, for everything that I have, and for the opportunity to be here talking to you, Ariel.
You're the man. Thank you, Renato. Really appreciate it. Always a pleasure. Thanks for coming on, and congrats again.
Thank you so much.
There he is, Renato Moicano. What a pleasure. What a joy it is to talk to him. I enjoy him very much, and he is on fire. I can't wait to see what he does next, who he gets matched up against next. Now, we continue with the ATT theme here. We had Moicano up next in about 30 minutes' time. Dustin Poirier, the aforementioned Dustin Poirier, who he wants nothing to do with. I appreciate that honesty very much. He will join us, but yesterday on the program, we heard a lot about our next guest, and in the middle of the show, I did get a text from her, and I don't want to live in a world where Kayla Harrison is mad at me. I can't live in that world. Terrified of her. She'd snap me in half. But still, I mean, she's one of the salt-of-the-earth human beings that I've ever come across in my life. And so I have to rectify this situation. And so episode 2, here she is, the great Kayla Harrison, the uncrowned queen. Yes. Back in our lives. Oh my gosh, how are you, Kayla? It's great to see you. Are we good? I mean, I think you were.
KH and KH.
Yeah, we're at it. We're back at it. Are we good? Is everything okay?
I
had to go with the champ.
Yeah.
Episode 1, but like I said,
you couldn't go with the uncrowned queen for your uncrowned.
Yeah. Did you say that for us? Honestly, did you say that for us?
Obvi.
I don't know if I believe you. Come on, that's the name of our whole empire. We got the crown right there. It's good.
It's a good logo. I dig it.
We're building something here. Have you heard about all this? I mean, I didn't get a congratulations. I didn't get a text. I didn't get anything.
That is such bullshit. First of all, I knew I was one of the first to know, and I did congratulate you and tell you how proud I was of you for going after your dreams and sticking it to the man and doing your own thing. There's nothing quite like living life on fire in such a way where like you could fall, but you could fly. And yeah, dude, I'm so happy for you.
We're doing it, and you're doing it. You're on fire. You're the eyes are looking good. I saw a couple black eyes yesterday in the aftermath, looking fine. But what about
I'm good.
What about this trip to the like? Can we start here with the trip to the hospital? I got a little worried there when I heard about this.
There we go.
What happened?
I just want to tell you, Money Moy.
Yes, the man.
Such a legend. But also, you guys were thinking of the word is siren, not mermaid.
Oh.
Okay. I homeschool my kids now, so.
Wait, you do? You homeschool them?
I do, yeah.
Why?
Why not?
Oh, well, I don't say that in a disparaging way, but, you know, where do they get the community? Where do they get the interaction? Where do they get the socialization?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're super active in our church. So they go to like group once a week. We have our church has a homeschool group that we're a part of. They go to art classes. We just traveled for a week after my fight. We went to Utah. We went to Zion and Bryce Canyon and the Grand Canyon and had the time of our lives. But I just felt like really, I don't work a 9 to 5. These kids were given to me for a reason. Why am I having them spend 8 hours a day with a stranger? And we're going to try it and see how it goes. And it's been the best year of my life. Getting to spend time with them, like getting out of the rat race a little bit. Like we wake up, we do a devotional, we do all of our chores together in the barn, then we go over and we do school, and then I go train. I mean, no, don't get me wrong, it's the hardest year of my life.
Yeah.
But it's the most rewarding by far.
Yeah, so I was going to ask about the training. What do you do then? Because you're training a lot during the day, right?
Yeah. So Miss Shayna comes over, who's like my right-hand man. She's a stud. My mom comes to help when I get really close to the fight. Because I'm training, when I get close to the fight, you know, I'm training like 3 times a day, including like the slow, steady state cardio. That is the bane of my existence. So we do school in the morning, then I'll train, then I'll come home, then we'll do more school, we'll eat together, then I'll train again, then I'll come home, then we'll hang out, then I'll go train again. Yeah.
Wow. That is a lot to handle.
It is.
I mean, some people were lamenting the fact during the pandemic that their kids were home during school hours. You're inviting this, so kudos to you. And I'm sure as you're gearing up and cutting weight, patience is kind of low as well, right? You're sitting there doing homework and stuff or teaching lessons, and you're freaking calorie deprived.
Yeah, I mean, and I also fast, so I don't eat my first meal until 12 o'clock.
Oh my.
And we wake up at 6 a.m. every day. So like from 6 to 12, I'm just on coffee and God's grace. But it is funny, you know, like we ask, I always want to grow, and like patience is something that I've always struggled with. And so like, and now I'm homeschooling my kids and I have no choice but to learn how to be patient and self-control, like with food, you know, never been a strong suit of mine. Have always eaten whatever I wanted. And now I'm fighting at 135 pounds and I literally cannot do that if I want to do what I want to do. So like God doesn't test us, but he gives us opportunities to grow. And this year has been a big year for growth for me.
Oh yeah. I mean, we all remember when you first joined our show, you said you'd have to cut off a leg to make 135. Now you've done it twice. You've done it twice. Which one was harder, April or this one?
The actual cut itself was better this time. Like I didn't have to spend as much time and I didn't have to cut weight Friday morning. It's more just like the anticipation of it. Before it was like, oh, can I? Oh, there's my dog.
Hey.
Before it was, oh, can I do it? And now it's like, oh, I have to do it. If that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, yes. So you got it out of the way, but your body knows how. It's a great shot, by the way. What a stud.
Good boy, he missed me. I've been gone for 3 weeks.
But you know, you correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't have to go to the hospital the first time, right?
No, I didn't.
So what happened this time?
Honestly, I don't know.
What did you feel?
I mean, I hate to make excuses.
This is not an excuse. You won the fight in dominant fashion.
I know, but it's just like, whatever. I mean, I just was like, I had the week before the fight, we went out early. And the week before the fight, I started having like bad cramps, and I had a couple instances where there was blood in my urine. And so we went to the hospital, tried to figure it out. Thought maybe it was a UTI or something, but it wasn't a UTI. It wasn't kidney stones. I don't know what it was.
Do they think it was related to the weight cut?
I don't think so.
Are you worried that you are hurting your body by doing this?
No.
No. You feel like it's safe, it's healthy?
Obviously, like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
we fight. Like, I get in a cage and fight
Yeah.
for a living. Like, healthy relative to what? Like, yeah. I think that it's a chosen commitment and a chosen sacrifice. I always tell my kids, my body, my choice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, amen.
So,
How's the hand? I know you hurt it after the April fight. All good in the aftermath?
killing it. Look
Yeah.
at that. Yeah.
And to me, there it is, yes, to the world, or maybe to people in particular. But to me, what was so fascinating about that fight was I still will never forget you on Long Island, one of your first PFL fights. You win via dominant decision. It was like not even close. And I'll never forget you walking out in tears. Like if someone just turned on the TV, they would have thought you'd lost because you were so upset that it went the distance. Here you go the distance against much tougher competition. But to me, the big story was Kayla bleeds. She's actually human. She can actually bleed. And I wanted to see, how do you respond in the third round from that quote unquote adversity? And I thought you passed with flying colors. I thought that was the great story of that fight. So
Thank you.
did you have that disappointment that you went the distance, that you bled, that she cut you, or were you proud of yourself?
Yeah. I mean, for sure, you never want to leave it in the judge's hands. I do believe I'm much better than the performance I put out that night. To be honest with you, I can't have my kids at my fight anymore. Because she hit me or at the elbow. I think it was really just the elbow, just kind of grazed my nose just right, caused 2 black eyes, caused blood to start gushing. I didn't really get hit with much else, but as soon as I started gushing blood, my first thought, and this is how I know I'm a mom now, like through and through. My first thought was, oh my God, I hope my kids know I'm okay. And like, that was all I was thinking about instead of like, dude, like punch her back. So my kids can't come to my fights anymore. It's too distracting for me. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm capable of much more than that. And I'm also glad that it was a difficult fight because those fights are important to help us trust ourselves and have confidence when we get into uncomfortable situations. Like I'm not a superhero. I'm human. I bleed. I have bad days. I fuck up. I fail. Shit happens. But I trust myself. And I trust my training and I trust my coaches. And I literally remember the second round, I went back to sit down and Mike goes, it might be 1-1. And like, I can hear a little bit of like edge in his voice. And I just sat down. I said, tell me what you want me to do. And he told me what he wanted me to do. And I did it.
Wow. That's amazing. I love the bond that you guys have. By the way, were your kids rattled by the blood, by the cut?
They were totally fine.
Yeah.
Dude, I was rocking 2 black eyes this whole past week on our trip, and people kept staring at me, and I couldn't figure out why, because like my kids they were just like, they don't even care. It's me. I'm the problem.
Was there any part of you that was like, man, I'm so close. Everyone believes it's a #1 contender fight. Don't slip up. Was there any part of you like almost fighting not to lose as opposed to fighting to win?
Yeah, I put a little bit of too much pressure on myself, and that's like in that regard. Whereas instead of just opening up and having fun with it, I was like, I was kind of like, don't fuck up. Like, which I never fight good when I fight like that. I fight my best. I perform my best when I go out there and I just instill my will. And I just think like, there's no way you're ever going to beat me. I'm going to come out like I'm going to crush. And I didn't do that. So, but that's a me thing. I have a lot of stuff I can work on, thankfully. There's a lot of room for improvement, which I'm grateful for.
I know you were in the back somewhat watching the Pennington-Peña fight because they showed you afterwards, and I'll ask you about that specific moment in a second. But who do you think won that fight? That's still a big topic of discussion.
I still have to go back and watch round 1 because I missed it, but I had Raquel winning the fight. I just didn't. I need to watch round 1.
Okay. Are you happy Julianna won?
Yeah, I mean, happy. Like, I just don't care.
It's better for business, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be more exciting and more fun to like whoop her ass, but she's also like, dude, now I have to listen to her talk for.
But man, you guys back and forth, you guys at the press conference were magic. I mean, that was so good. I said to her yesterday, I only want one thing, and I hope that you will. I would love to have you both on at one point and do like a face-to-face thing because you guys are so good together in the best. Like to me, I don't know if there's a build-up that is more intriguing and exciting for me than you two. You two guys were flying there, and then they show you on the screen, and she doesn't address you, and you're there. And I was surprised. Were you surprised?
No.
Why?
I think she's scared of me. I think that I intimidate her. And I don't say that like to talk shit. Listen, I know that she is a good fighter. I know that she's tough as nails. I know that she's like got an amazing like mental fortitude and willpower. But I think there's something about me that like makes her nervous. I don't know exactly what it is. I know I'm a bad bitch, so maybe that. I mean, that in and of itself could be enough. But dude, I said it in another interview. I was like, she started calling out a man. First it was, oh, you know, if you want to fight the real fights, cut to 135 pounds and then we can talk. You're not even in the right promotion, so shut up. And then it was like, okay, I put my money where my mouth is and I signed up to fight in the UFC. Then it's like, oh, you were in the little leagues. Now you're running to the big leagues. I'm like, how do you run to the big leagues? Does that make any fucking sense? Then it was, oh, she's on steroids. I know for a fact she's on steroids. And then it was, she's not the money fight. Amanda's the money fight. And I want to fight. I'm like, next thing you know, she's going to be calling out Ronda Rousey. And then what did she do yesterday on your show? I was like, dude, this girl she's terrified.
Well, speaking of my show and that comment, her being terrified, she actually spoke of this. Do you mind if I just play it in case anyone missed it? Okay, here's Julianna Peña talking about Kayla Harrison yesterday.
Honey, I am not afraid of you. You are not some oogity boogity person who can't be beat. I see you bleed the same blood as me. I seen you lose in the PFL, and that's when you came running over to the big leagues. Like, you are in the big leagues now. You were playing over there in the AAAs. You were over there in the minors. Now it's the real shit. Now is where we find out what you're freaking made of. Can you make the weight? Can you fight for 25 minutes? And I guarantee you, I will not go away. If she thinks she's just going to take me out in the first round or the second round or the third round, like, you know, Holly Holm or Ketlin Vieira, she is sorely mistaken. And I'm just so sick of her trying to act like she's some freaking boogeyman. It's like, I'm not afraid of you. Plain and simple. I am not afraid of you.
So there she says it multiple times. She's not afraid.
Okay.
You're not the boogeyman.
All right, then sign a contract, honey. Listen, I don't think I'm the boogie woman. I don't think that I'm like greater than anyone, or that I don't bleed, or that I don't struggle, or like, dude, this is the difference, right? Like, my life has been a fight. My entire existence has been a fight. And so that's why I do have respect for Julianna, because when she gets in the cage, she fights like she has no quit in her. And that's the only saving grace she has in my mind, is like, you know what? She's fucking annoying. She talks a lot. She does make some decent points, but I just, for whatever reason, she rubs me the wrong way. But she fights like, she just has this indomitable will. She doesn't quit. And I respect that, because that's me. I don't quit. I have been fighting since, I don't even know, like before, I don't even know when she started like MMA. I think it was like probably like a week before she went on the Ultimate Fighter show. But yeah, dude, I've been fighting my whole life. There's no quit in me. I am unfuckwithable. Like, yeah.
I love this fight. I want to see it so badly. I'm wondering, obviously you want it as well. You want to fight for the belt next. Is there any part of you that is concerned that they do Julianna Amanda next? Because I don't know if you saw, like 24 hours after your fight, Amanda popped up dancing on social media. Did you see that video?
I saw it.
By the way, I asked Julianna this. I just want your thoughts on the dance moves, the video. Did you? Oh, there. I don't know if.
Good for Amanda.
Yeah, living her best life.
Yeah, good for her.
Do you think she's trying to get the fight first, or do you think she's just trying to say, "I'm the winner. I'm getting the winner of this. I'm the prize at the end"?
I think that she gets the winner.
Okay. Have you been told this?
I think she's gonna fight me after I whoop Juliana's ass. That's what's gonna happen.
It's an amazing sequence of events, right? I mean, you can't write this script any better.
Can you imagine, Ariel? Can you imagine? I'm so excited.
Is it
so fucking excited?
Which one is more personal for you, Peña or Nunes?
They're not personal at all.
Not Nunes. I mean, former training partners, former teammates.
No, I just don't like the shit that she said about my team.
Yeah.
I don't have any personal issues with Amanda at all. I never did. Not one issue with her. I don't take it personally. I don't I'm ATT for life. But I personally don't have an issue with her. I have an issue, don't talk shit about my team. That's it. That's it. Respect where you came from. Respect the people that pulled you out of, the bottom. She wanted to retire before she moved to ATT, before she switched teams. Dan took such good care of her. Yeah, I just don't respect that. Don't shit on the people that helped build you. That's absolutely that would be like me saying that Jimmy Pedro and Big Jim didn't help me win gold medal. I just can't imagine it. It doesn't make sense.
Who's tougher? Tougher opponent for you? Tougher matchup, in your opinion? Tougher puzzle?
Everybody's tough until you beat them.
No, but on paper, who's a tougher?
Amanda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, styles make fights. So realistically, when do you think this happens? You versus Julianna?
Whenever she wants, I'm ready.
Okay, because I think she was implying the opposite.
No, I don't understand. I have to remember I'm not dealing with normal people when I speak. I said I needed to take some time off. I just took a week off. I went to Utah with my kids. We climbed mountains and rappelled. We had a blast. I'm going back to the gym. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm going back to the gym. Time off was a week. That's what I took a week off. I had a week vacation. I'm let's fucking go.
March, April, something like that, right? Probably.
Anytime.
Okay. Damn it.
And dude, there's a couple, she's like, oh, if she can make 135 pounds, she said she's going to make 135 pounds. First of all, that night that I cut weight, I called Hunter and I said, hey, are these young ladies, are they on? Is it happening? And he was like, what are you talking? I was like, I'm at the sauna right now. Do I need to cut another pound or not? And they were both going to fight. That's the only reason I didn't cut the extra pound. Number two, if she can make the weight, but she's a consummate, make up your fucking mind. Am I a professional or am I not going to make the weight? Make up your mind about me. What else did she say? What else was there? Come on, stir the pot, Ariel. This is the part where you.
No, I'm not. I'm just. You're going through everything. You've got it all. You've got it all. You've got You've got it all. So I was curious. Okay, so Julianna, it's happening. All that. A lot of people were mad on your behalf, and this could be deemed stirring the pot. That your former promotion PFL on the day of your fight tweeted the video of Larissa Pacheco defeating you. Did you? A lot of people were mad actually about this, and then Dana White was asked about it, and he took some shots at the PFL and said, "This is what happens when you're drowning and no one cares about them and they're losers, etc." Did you see it? Were you bothered?
I didn't see it until after the fight. I was asked about it the night of the fight. I tend to agree with Dana on this, where it's I forgot that they were having these big fights because I have not seen any promotional stuff. And for the record, I'm 2-1 against Larissa. Out of 13 rounds, I did lose 3. I think she's a great fighter. And that's in my past. Like, I don't have anything. I'm not gonna go low. I'm not gonna talk shit about them. I'm not gonna air all of the laundry I could air about how they handle certain things and the way they have treated fighters. I'm not gonna do that because I know that the truth will come out, and I have nothing to be ashamed of. I'm proud of everything I've done in my career, including that loss. It catapulted me into making big decisions and changing my life and like becoming who I am today. So
every time Dawn is talking about this fight, the Pacheco Cyborg fight, there's subtle shots taken at you. And I'm sure you hear them, right? About you.
I don't because I don't pay attention to that. Like,
But you and Dawn seem to have had a great relationship when you were there.
I really liked Dawn.
What happened? Why does it have to be this way? Why can't it be like, hey, we helped her. It was a great partnership. It was a great relationship. We wish her the best. She was one of the faces of our organization. She was someone who put us on the map. And now she wants to go climb another mountain, and we wish her the best. She'll always be a PFL legend. She'll be a Hall of Famer forever doing it. Why does it have to be she ran away, the going got tough, all this stuff? Why does it have to be that way?
I mean, I don't know. You need to ask Dawn that.
Yeah.
You know, I never said anything like that about the PFL. I didn't feel, I don't feel like I handled it poorly. I feel like I did the best I could do. And listen, I made it very clear that it was not an easy decision for me to leave. I grew up with that organization and had really grown to care about a lot of the people who work there and helped build my career. So I have nothing bad to say about them. I do believe now more than ever that like this isn't these people aren't your friends. This is a business through and through. And that was a good lesson for me. And again, like, I'm doing my thing. I'm staying in my lane. I love my life. Dude, my life is Ariel. I'm on fire. It's so good. Like, God is so good. And not just because I'm like winning and making like, it's just like okay, he's snoring. Did you?
Yeah, I heard that.
Just because like, not just because I'm winning and making money, but because like at my core, I know that I'm in the right place, like chasing this dream, climbing this mountain, being a mom, like staying true to myself, not being some like, I don't know, fake ass, whatever. Like I'm being me. And like, there's no better feeling than doing that. You know, look at you, you're doing it. Like,
we're doing it.
We're doing it, baby. There's no greater feeling than like waking up every day and being yourself and like being okay with that.
Comfortable in your skin, confident.
I'm confident and just like, I trust myself. I know I can do this. Like, I'm on the right path. Like trusting God and like trusting yourself, and then just keep doing the next right thing.
I love it. By the way, could I just ask Cyborg Pacheco? You never fought Cyborg, you know Pacheco. It is happening this weekend, by the way. And if you order the pay-per-view on DAZN pay-per-view, you can watch the alternate commentary, which we will be doing from this very studio. It's a nice new thing that we're doing called Helwani Vision. So please do check it out on DAZN pay-per-view exclusively this Saturday, October 19th. It's going to be a great time. What do you think? What do you think?
Salesman.
Cyborg Pacheco, who do you think wins?
I think Pacheco.
Wow.
I mean, as long as she hasn't been sleeping in silk pajamas, you know, she's young, she's got power, she's tough, she's hungry, she's well-rounded. And I think that, you know, unfortunately for Cyborg, time waits for no man or woman. And yeah, she's had a lot of fights in her career. She's a legend. Listen, I have nothing bad to say about Cyborg. She's a legend of the sport, but I'm going Pacheco.
Okay. Last thing, this time next year, October of 2025, are you the champion yet, or about to be the champion?
I am.
You think both of these fights happen in the next 365?
I will be the crowned queen.
We'll still always consider you the uncrowned queen because you said it first in this new era,
I did say it
and
first.
I believe.
I feel like you guys, I don't know who took it from who.
Well, we were first, and then you said it, and I felt like you put us on the map, and that was your subtle. I know it's tough out there. Like you can't say, oh, I was talking to my pal Ariel Helwani on the dais at the press conference. So that was your subtle wink, wink, nudge, nudge to us, and we felt it and we appreciated it.
Okay. You're so lucky. I almost wore the cowboy hat that Ali bought me.
Oh my God.
Just so you would ask about it and I could tell you, oh, my buddy Ali bought this for me.
Let me tell you something. You said I was telling this to the guys in the back. Last thing, and I'll let you go. I was telling this to the guys in the back. When I left ESPN, I was all about Helwani and High Road Helwani is dead and
Black heart.
I have a full heart. I'm happy. I want peace in life. And you tell your friend Ali, despite everything he's done to me, I have a seat for him right here. Let's shake hands. Let's send a message to the world. The Jews and Muslims can come together in the MMA world and outside the MMA world, and let's drop this nonsense. And I don't want anything from him. Yes. I don't want any interview. I don't want any scoop. I don't want any fighter. I'm the bigger man here. It's time for.
Okay, well, that was a dig.
No. I'm trying to. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to be a big person, not bigger, big person, a mature person. And I would like to extend the olive branch once and for all so we can all move on.
It.
Okay?
I love it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes, that's what the world needs more of. Like, we need more love and acceptance and just like forgiveness. And yeah, we'd be in a lot better place.
Amen.
Except for Julianna. I forgive everyone, but fuck that bitch. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Let's go, girl.
You're the best.
Get in camp. Get ready to wreck your body because I'm fucking coming for you.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. My most anticipated fight. Thank you so much. Great to have you on. Congrats. Enjoy homeschooling.
Much love, AH.
Yeah,
AH.
you too.
Out.
Peace out. There she is, Kayla Harrison. Unbelievable. I cannot wait for that fight. I cannot wait for that fight. That is tremendous theater. They are magic together. There are certain personalities that are magic together. And AH, KH, JP, KH, it's magic. It's magic. So hopefully we get that in the spring. In the spring. I'm putting it out there. Now, we return to the ATT theme. Moicano, Harrison, and one of our favorites. We love El Diamante. Again, when we were writing down the wish list for week 1, there were some people that had to be a part of it, and you see him right there, immortalized. That's the hat made famous in the MMA world by the great Dustin Poirier. Of course, there have been others who have worn it. Marvin Hagler made it very, very famous back in the day, but when you see this now, you think of Dustin Poirier, and that's an incredible compliment. He is El Diamante. He is the pride of Lafayette, Louisiana. There he is, our guy. Warhead right there. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. I see you got the little new set right there. I see the war hat, but where the hell's the picture at? Don't do me like that.
It's so I'm moving things around. Don't worry. The picture is, I have the picture. It's right over there. We're moving things around.
Man, it's a glamour shot, bro. The lighting was nice.
You liked it?
It was a good picture, Ariel. Don't do this.
Okay, but like this is literally above my shoulder 24/7. Like it's right there. Every shot, the war hat is there. You know that, right?
All right. Salute. I appreciate it.
That's for you, man. That's only for you, not for anyone else. It's great to see you. And by the way, earlier in the day, we spoke to a teammate of yours. We've had 3 ATT fighters in a row here. We spoke to Renato Moicano, and we were going through people who he'd fight. And he mentioned you in this list, and I was like, you'd fight Dustin Poirier?
Yeah.
And he goes, wait, listen to this. He goes, no. I would never agree to fight Dustin Poirier because I would never agree to a fight that I know I would lose. I train with that guy every day. I'm losing to that guy. And he kept repeating how much he loves you and respects you. I misunderstood him. So I just wanted to tell you, Renato thinks you smoke him.
Dude, he knows. This guy beats me up in the gym. He knows the truth.
Well, it was nice to see that.
I like the guy. Hard worker. What you see is what you get. And actually, I ran into him. I might have been working for ESPN. I ran into him in Vegas, and I told him, hey, if you need me to come out, I would love to help. If you need a southpaw who has experience fighting the guy. This was weeks, maybe 5 weeks before his fight. But nah, that's my teammate, and he's been my teammate for a while.
Yeah, and he's crushing it. And he just beat the guy that you beat back in March, who a lot of people thought you wouldn't beat and thought he was going to be the boogeyman at 155. What did you think of that performance?
Dude, so I can't bet on the fights, but everyone around me at my gym, at my buddy's gyms here in Lafayette, I'm like telling you guys, bet on Moicano. He's going to beat this guy. At the money line, it was like plus, what was he, 200, something? I'm like, dude, this is free money. Bet this. I train with this guy all the time. I fought this guy. I know what's going to happen here. All right, MMA, you never really know, but I was like, he's going to win this fight.
And did you think that, I don't want to say easily, nothing's easy in fighting, but that dominantly?
No, dude. So Moicano's strength, he's tall and lanky, but he's one of the strongest guys I've ever felt at 155 pounds.
Wow.
And his jiu-jitsu technique is incredible. And he's really good at taking your back. And once he gets your back, dude, until the bell rings, you're probably going to be stuck there. Has some of the best rear naked chokes I've ever felt in my life. But I didn't think he was going to go in there and just demolish him the way he did.
Could I just ask, like, at the beginning of this year, I think a lot of people I know, they were predicting, all right, BSD probably end of 2024, number one contender, maybe champion if things go his way. Now he's facing 2 really bad losses and kind of back there in the rankings, if you will. Do you think he can turn it around? Are these the types of losses that can, derail you for a long time? Your read on where he's at now towards the end of the year?
I don't know, Ariel. I don't know his mindset personally. But I believe like anybody can turn anything around and reach their goals if they're committed enough, determined enough, take the lumps and learn and grow. He can do anything. He's still young, great athlete, blood and guts fighter. He has the ingredients to be whatever he wants to be. It's just his mindset, what he's going to do with that, and how he's going to come back from these losses. That's all on him. Only he knows that. So that's fighting, though.
Yeah. Amen. All right. So, it's funny. The last time we spoke, it was right after the Islam fight. And you were very much on the fence about your future. You never quite retired in the ring or in the cage, but very much on the fence. I said to you, I hope respectfully, that I don't believe you are done, that I think that you are going to come back. Since then, it's been a constant stream of uno mas and fight news coming, tweets and Instagram stories and all this stuff. And so can we at least officially say you are going to fight again? The idea of you retiring is dead for now.
I will fight again. It's just how this thing unfolds is going to, we'll see when I do retire. Could be uno mas, could be dos mas. I had a good meeting at the UFC headquarters. I was out there with Celsius at a trade show, and I had a good meeting. So I could come back, and then so my goal is to get a fight, get an event here in Louisiana, whether that's Lafayette, Louisiana, New Orleans. I want to lay the gloves down where I started fighting. That's my goal. Just opponent availability, what makes sense. And these guys behind the scenes, people don't understand this. These shows are booked a year in advance. Like I think a few months ago we were speaking about it, and he was already booked his pay-per-views all the way through August or something like that. So it's hard to just throw things together last second. It takes a lot of planning with these. There's a lot of moving parts with these big UFC events. But my goal is to take my gloves off in Louisiana and retire home.
When you said that, by the way, I literally got like a rush of chills down my spine. Like that because you've invited us along the journey, because of Fightville, because we know how much Louisiana means to you. That would be one of the great scenes in the history of the sport. How confident, to your point, it's tough to plan these things out. How confident are you that this could happen? They were supposed to do that New Orleans show a few years back with DC. It didn't work out. How confident are you that they can actually get it done this time?
I fought on that one. Yeah, that was maybe 15 or 2016 at the Smoothie King Center where the Pelicans play. I fought on that card. That's the last time they came here.
Yeah.
I'm about 95%
wow.
sure that we get this done. It's just, for me, on my part, is do I fight before that? Because the longer I'm away from the sport, I just feel removed, and I'm not with everything, not training every single day. I might train 3 times a week. I'm always staying in shape, but just technique and fundamentals and things, you have to be on the mats every day. I don't want to wait, until summer or end of next year before they can come back to Louisiana is what I'm trying to say. So maybe I need a fight before then just to stay in the mix, stay fresh, so I can retire how I want to be on top,
What are you leaning towards? Like just waiting for that one and done, or 2 more?
I don't want to. It might be dos mas because I don't want to wait a year. I don't know when the exact date of Louisiana, if it comes together, when that would be. But that's my goal. If we can do it sooner, it would be uno mas.
Yeah. That would be the perfect scenario, right? One last one in Louisiana and you say goodbye. The question is, because it's not happening.
No waiting. I don't want to be on the shelf. Yeah, I don't want to be on the shelf for that long, because also I'm not asking. And nowadays, everybody in the UFC is dangerous. I'm not asking for like a favorable fight. I want the hardest guys I can get. I was asking for Gaethje, asking for Hooker. So I want hard fights. I'm not trying to not get beat up. I want to fight. It's just the availability and the time frame. We'll see.
How is your body though? that could dictate the timeline as well. How's your body feeling?
I'm healed up, man. I did therapy, a bunch of therapy sessions on my knee. My ribs healed up on their own. It took a while. My nose, I can't breathe, but everything else is good.
Damn. And so the note, like I hear it. How difficult is that? Just day-to-day life, or when you get punched?
No, the punching is the way it is now with the cartilage destroyed and the bones broken. The punching's great. My eyes don't get watery. Nothing happens. But it's the breathing. It's the sleeping, the training. I'm in 5-round fights a lot. I need to be able to breathe good. I can't be out there with my mouth wide open.
Right.
It's a lot of things. But as you know, I would have been on this show yesterday. I was in Nashville, Tennessee at Vanderbilt, going to have a complete reconstruction of my nose. And at pre-op, they like pulled the plug on it, say, hey, if you're going to fight again, we can't do the surgery because it's probably going to get messed up. They have to rebuild it. And with the bone grafts and stuff they have to do to keep my septum from collapsing, my nose is going to be more rigid. So any shot to the face straight on hard is going to mess it up. And they said a second surgery would be a nightmare for the surgeons. So they really recommend me to wait off on it. And so I just flew back home.
Wow. And yes, you did tell me that. I didn't know if you wanted that out there. So, thank you for sharing. But I'm just curious, like, you fly all the way, you think you're going to get your nose fixed, you think you're going to start to be able to breathe again, and you're literally at pre-op and they say, no, sorry. Mentally, is that a tough thing to overcome?
It was kind of a relief, honestly, dude, because my wife flew out there too. That sucks. So we had like just a couple of days of dead time in Nashville. We got to go see some stuff, but I thought I was having surgery. Mentally, it was a relief because I was like, oh, I'm not, because they had to break it in a few different spots and remove a lot of my septum. So I didn't have to have surgery. That's a good part, but the breathing is the bad part.
Just curious about the timeline. If you would have had the surgery, when could you have returned? And did that kind of fit into the uno versus dos más plans?
So the bones would be set at 8 weeks after surgery. So I was thinking right after Thanksgiving or beginning of December, I could start getting my face squeezed on and grappling and getting hit again. And then I would have to do a camp from there. So I would think like the first quarter of next year was a possibility if things made sense.
Okay. But now that's all out the window.
Yeah. So now I can fight whenever,
Speaking of your wife, you did tell us she wanted you to retire. She was asking you to retire. How did you cross that bridge with her?
Because I think she's been with me from the jump, as people know who's followed this story or follow my life. But she just wants me to be happy. She doesn't want me to leave everything I have in the octagon, but she also wants me to walk away. I deserve to walk away, she thinks, from the sport. Trying to see the right word for this. Content. Yeah. Content with everything,
Was that something? I mean, you're a grown man. I'm sure she respects your wishes, but like, was that something that you had to sit down and not like pitch her on it, but like explain to her where you're coming from, or is it just a thing like, hey, you're having coffee, I'm coming back, that's it, we move on?
I mean, it was definitely a few different conversations over the last few months. But during one of these conversations, she just like took a breath and said, "Here we go again. Let's go." Yeah. Like, so she's in. She's in.
Can I ask about the mental side of things? Like you getting to the place where you're on the fence in June in Newark to now, like you're talking about 1 or 2. What was that journey like? How did you get to the point where you're like, okay, I am not done?
Healing up, taking a step away from the sport, letting things unfold, getting back in the gym slowly. Emotions, and I've been fighting a long time. Emotions and everything, especially after a big fight like that and another fall, another loss when I was trying to accomplish everything I set out to do. It just really hurts. So emotionally, sometimes I jump the gun, and also in the back of my head, I know I'm close to the end. But also I know on the double-edged sword, also I know I can beat these guys. So just win is enough. 1 or 2 more.
Okay. Correct me if I'm recalling incorrectly. You did tell me after the fight that if you would have won, you would have retired, right? If you would have won the belt, you would have retired, right? So
100%.
Now that you're not in the title chase, so to speak, what is the motivation to keep fighting? Is it just to go out on a win? Like, you fought Dan Hooker, you fought Justin Gaethje. Like, what is keeping you around ultimately?
So I think the real answer to that is just to be completely content. Like, I would love to lay my gloves down at home and never fight again. Finish here in front of my Louisiana friends and family, the people who have been supporting me since I was 17 years old through fighting. And to go out on top, to show like I'm leaving, but I still have it. That's like important to me too. Like, I'm not getting squeezed out. Anything could happen. I could lose 2 more. And then I'm one of those guys who got squeezed out of the sport. I want to beat these guys, tough fights, and walk away on top. Like, this guy left when he was still on top of his game. That's important to me. That's how I want my story to be.
If the timing doesn't work out for whatever reason and you can't finish in Louisiana, how much will that upset you?
It would suck because that's what I really want.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to get back on the phone and sit down with Dana and Hunter and figure out exactly what time frame we're looking at and what matchups make sense. If I do have to take another one, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to get it done. And that's something special to me. Like, being the reason an event comes back to Louisiana and fighting in front of my people here and putting on a war. That's what I want.
Could I ask if you could lay out Dos Mas, who are the guys you're fighting? Who do you beat first, and then who do you beat in Louisiana?
Dude, it changes from week to week, month to month. This landscape of fighting is so crazy. Me and Gaethje are 1-1. I would love to do the last fight with him in Louisiana.
Oh.
Our first fight was in his backyard. Our second fight was in neutral ground. The third one, let's do it in my backyard.
That would be sick. You versus Hooker would be sick too. That first fight was incredible.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You versus Diaz is still the one I want to see. I don't know if I feel like.
Well, get him. Yeah, I'll do that one. I'll do that one in Louisiana.
That would be incredible.
Get Diaz in the UFC, and I'll meet him at 170.
Were you and Connor both at like the same convention or something? I saw a video where someone said Dustin's right over there. Did you see each other in Vegas?
No, so dude, that was crazy. I had just finished my signing for Celsius, and I'm partners with the seltzer water called Hop Water. So I was walking over to their booth to meet some people, and Connor was behind me apparently.
Wow.
And my agent was walking behind me, and he grabs me. So Connor might have saw the back of my head. I don't know. I didn't see him. He grabs my shoulders and says, "Hey, go this way, to the right, to the right." So we start walking to the right. I'm like, "The booth is right there." We start walking to the right, and then once we get clear of everybody, he's like, "Dude, we almost had a big problem." And that's what that was.
What do you think would have happened if you saw each other? What do you think happens?
I don't know, bro. We just have such a long history. He said some foul things. You ever watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
You know when Peter and the chicken run into each other?
Tell me about it.
They freaking go on this crazy fight. They're falling down hills. They're fighting for an hour. That's what would have happened.
You think so? You think you guys would have fought?
Yeah, for sure.
Because of what he said about your family?
Yeah, and just everything we have over the past however many years since our first fight.
But
for sure we would have.
After the second fight, it was so cordial.
Yeah, but it's not anymore.
Okay. Do you think you would have ignited that, or him, or just like the two of you just seeing each other would have?
Yeah, just the both of us. I believe both of us.
He said afterwards.
That's what I told. Once my guy walked us away and told me what just happened and why we had to make that short right, I was like, dude, for sure. If we'd have made, that's what I told him. If we'd have made eye contact, if our eyes would have met, it would have been bad, probably.
Wow. Does he factor into these plans at all?
Dude, I don't know if he's ever going to fight again. Do you?
I think he does. I really do. Honestly. Do you?
We'll see. I don't know. I was kind of like thinking for sure he was at the beginning of his return against Chandler. Then it kept getting drug on, and I don't know.
Him versus Hooker, who wins?
That's a fun fight, man. That's a fun fight. Either guy. I think whoever lands the biggest clean shot first wins.
Were you surprised?
That's the coin toss.
Were you surprised Chandler moved on and took the Oliveira fight in New York?
No, I'm not surprised, dude, because he's still very physically fit, but he's not a young man in the sport anymore. He can't wait 2-3 years and then it get pushed back again and keep waiting. You know, he's at like, it's fight or move on. And I think he made the right decision.
Who do you think wins that one?
Chandler and Oliveira?
Yeah.
I think it depends what mindset Oliveira's in. If it's the same guy who I fought and the same guy mentally who Chandler fought when he was on that run, Oliveira wins.
Wow. Do you think he's that same guy?
It looked like it when he fought Arman. You know, he was in it to the end. He was fighting hard. If he goes in with that same mindset, I think he can win.
You're one of the guys I love talking about fighting and what it does to you, and just like from a broader perspective. And over the last week or so, I don't know if you've seen this online. We've seen some testimonials from MMA legends about what their life is like post fighting. There's one with Shane Carwin that Brendan Schaub spoke about. I don't know if you've seen any of this, and I'm just wondering, when you're factoring your last 2 fights and the last chapter, are these things that worry you when you're seeing legends talk about this stuff, about the state that they're in and how they can't do certain things? Does this concern you? Does this worry you? Does this factor into your decision making?
With the Shane Carwin thing, he's talking about more like financial stuff, right?
He was talking all about like his body and his mind and stuff that CTE and things like that.
Yeah, head trauma definitely worries me. But I think I saw a thing him saying he can't like afford his mortgage or rent or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm not talking
worried about that.
No, I'm not talking about
part.
finances. I'm talking about just the fighter. The game can eat you and spit you up, right? I know you've talked about wanting to be with your daughter, wanting to be able to live a long, healthy life, and so I'm wondering if that has come into play here as you're making these calls.
Yeah, 100% it has, Ariel. This ain't good for you, especially the way I fight. Nobody rides for free in this game. We're giving up something. We're giving up something every time, every camp. Nobody rides for free. But it's just like an agreement you come to with yourself. Like at the end of this, when I look back in the life I've lived and the life I've provided for my family, starting from the jump, would I have done it again? For sure. For sure. So it's just acceptance and deals you make with yourself. Like whatever you do for a living, I'm sure at the end of it, something is going on. This is just what I do.
What about your boy, Chris Duncan getting the guillotine a couple weeks ago? You saw that?
Dude, man. Hey, he's a beast, bro. He's so big and strong for 155, and his grappling is underrated, man. One of the best head and arm chokes, Darce choke transitions that I've ever felt.
You teach him that?
I definitely jumped a gilly on him. I know that much.
Could you imagine, by the way, you jumping to gilly in freaking Louisiana? And that's like, now we need Fightful 2. Like, that's legit movie shit.
Right, but since I've been talking about retirement and this is the end, they've actually reached out to me, a few different filming companies, and they want to do something on the retirement and like the last walk and stuff like that. So maybe we'll do something.
Wow.
But the guillotine is always. I know you're into darts. The guillotine is the red bullseye, man.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Is it going to be with the same crew that did Fightful, or a new crew, a different crew?
I'm not 100% sure yet. So the same crew reached out to me, but also I have a different crew. I'm just kind of seeing, because like for me, this stuff is serious. Like opening my life and letting somebody into my home and letting somebody into my gyms and what I'm going through. It's just like it's a big deal. I try to block off that energy. That's why I don't even like doing all that embedded stuff or the countdown shows. I hate all that stuff because like I know they're trying to work and do their jobs and get the content, but I'm trying to work myself. I have another man who's trying to hurt me in a few weeks or months, and I just don't like the energy vampires, like people pulling away from me and when I'm focused and in the zone.
No, I totally understand that. Plus, it's different when you're 16, 17, 18 and you don't have a daughter and you're not married. I know you were with your soon-to-be wife and all that, but like it's a totally different spot in your life. You probably were inviting the cameras back then. You wanted the attention. You wanted to become famous. Now you're like, leave me alone.
For sure, 100%, dude. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't want any distractions at all. Like when I'm in the zone in camp or fight week,
Is this?
That's why a lot of these embedded guys, like on the big fights, I'm like not answering the phone, not going where I say I'm gonna go. I'm like, dropping smoke screens.
Oh man. I'm sure they get it. I'm sure they understand because you're always very accessible, or you try to be. By the way, is this BMF tournament thing? Is this a real thing?
I spoke to Dana a few days ago when I was in Vegas, and he was like, "Oh, he didn't understand that I was talking about a one-night tournament. He thought it was going to be like a few months. He doesn't think any athletic commission would sanction a one-night tournament."
Wait, you want to do 2 fights in a night?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
That's
like old school.
That's tres mas then.
That's a good time. That's what that is.
So what did he? Okay, so did he say he said no to one-night tournament? Which, by the way, there are some athletic commissions in the States, maybe not the top ones, that would agree to it because we've seen it. But is he open to like it over a couple of shows? Is he open to this idea?
It seemed like he was. Like he was on kind of laughing and smiling and on board with that. Like I never thought about that. That's a great idea. We were talking, but I was like, no, in one night. And he says like, nobody's going to approve that.
What do you make of the fact that the belt isn't on the line when Max fights next week?
Well, he's only. I guess he's the third guy to have the BMF belt. Because Masvidal was still the BMF champion and fighting, and it wasn't on the line.
Yep.
I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me.
It kind of should be in a way, but maybe it's not the same weight class. I don't know. BMF shouldn't really matter when it comes to weight classes. Ilia got his own belt. Did you see that? He somehow got one, and that seems to have irked some people.
Yeah, I saw Max saying his was earned, not bought, or something.
Yeah,
you definitely earned it.
Yes,
Max definitely earned it, dude.
Who do you think wins that?
I'm such a big fan of Max. I don't know. It's hard to ever bet or pick against Max just because he's been around so long and he's fought everybody and he's so good. But Ilia's a handful, man. I mean, I'm excited about this fight card. I'm working for ESPN for that fight.
Nice.
So I'm pumped to see it unfold. I'm a fan of both guys.
Are you going to start doing more of the TV stuff? Is that part of the transition?
I'd like to, Ariel. I enjoy it. You know, I get like butterflies and, you know, live TV is a whole different thing. We can film and edit stuff and mess up and it can come out perfect. Live TV, when they're talking in your ear and you have to piggyback off the next person next to you, you can't be lost for words. You have to be on point. That stuff excites me.
What do you like better? That thing where it's like this dance and you only have X amount, or doing like a podcast, a longer form thing? Are you interested in that?
I had a couple offers to start a podcast. It just seems like too much work, you know? Yeah, it just seems like a lot of every week filming for so long, talking about what's going on. I could definitely do it, and I have a lot to say about everything that's going on. I just don't want to be sitting in front of a camera and working with the editing crew and doing all that. I got a lot of other stuff I'm juggling.
Okay. Is it like 5 years from now? What's your main thing? You're done fighting. You're a successful guy. You've made your name. What do you think will be your main day-to-day thing that you're doing?
I'd love to be working in some way with ESPN or some kind of fight media, because I would love to be around the sport. You know, I love this sport. I would love to be around it and still be in people's eyes talking about what's going on. And but I have a few businesses here in Louisiana. I'm going to be busy with business stuff for sure.
Man, I saw Mark Zuckerberg rocking a shirt. Did you see that?
Yeah, he actually sent me a picture of him when he bought it.
That's incredible. Where did he buy that? From your store?
From Paris Inc. Yeah, from a Louisiana grown store.
That's nuts. Are you boys with Zuck? Have you trained with him?
No, I've never trained with him. My buddy Johnny Eblin actually went out to maybe Tahoe or something and trained with him for a week. We'll message every now and then, but he's never asked about training stuff.
Yes, that was not Zuck, but we do have a photo of Zuck rocking your stuff. And that's that's one of the most, powerful people in the world, in America, just rocking one of your shirts, which is incredible. Are you going to Saudi Arabia Saudi Arabia this weekend? Are you going to Saudi Arabia for Johnny Eblin?
No, all of the coaches, my boxing coach, all the coaches are already out there with him. I wasn't with him during this training camp, so I won't be there. I'll be watching.
Feeling good, looking good. The first fight was tough, but he won.
Yeah, everything I hear, the kid's only getting better, man. He's young in the sport, and he's been good for a long time. And I've been waiting for people to realize how good he is, and I think he's going to continue to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm very happy to hear all of this. You're back, like you never left. You never actually officially left. You did. A lot of people are asking me in our chat
I'm
here.
back.
You're back, baby.
I'm back, like Anderson Silva.
Yes.
Remember that promo? I back.
I back. Trust me, I back. When he came back after the Weidman fight, they're asking you did post on your story fight news coming soon. Is there something to share or?
There's some things verbally we spoke about that are looking promising, but I can't share yet.
Okay, so we're close to something here. Like there is something imminent. You're not just.
Oh, we're
playing...
close. We're close.
Wow. Can you tell us like time frame?
First quarter next year.
Dang. So it's probably going to be Dos Mas then.
It's looking that way. Like
Wow.
I said, I haven't signed anything, but we're just kind of weighing out options and talking about timeframes.
You like it? You like what's being presented to you?
I love the chaos. So if a crazy fight is presented, I gotta do it.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that. Stay tuned. Thank you so much, man. I don't take these chats for granted. I always look forward to them. And this first week for us wouldn't be the same without you. So great to catch up again. And looking forward to all this news, and glad, most importantly, to hear that your body's feeling good and that you're ready to go.
Thanks, man. And I'm glad to have you back during the week. I was missing out, man. I love hearing these stories and the way you interview these guys. So keep it up, Ariel.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dustin. All the best. Talk to you soon. There he is, the man, Dustin Poirier. Love the chats. What a guy. And I screwed up, by the way. I had at one point. I believe paused my stream, and so I looked down, and there was I would never question. Do you guys? I would never. But there was a picture of Ilia when I looked down. But then now the Zuck picture came up. So we did have the Zuck picture, right? We had it.
Yeah,
me?
man.
Yeah, that's me.
You're just doubting?
No, that's not that. No, I looked down and it was Ilia, and I'm like, wait a second. He was probably confused. He's like, no, he probably saw the Zuck picture, right?
Yeah, he saw the Zuck picture, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you leave the production to us?
No,
you do your yapping, and then they're talking to these guys.
I looked down.
We'll deal with the production.
By the way,
no.
that's well played. Zuck's got a different look these days, right? The hair, the chain, the oversized shirts.
Yeah, he's got the skibbity riz.
He does have
He's got the hair. The chains are definitely new.
Rate the fit. Rate the fit for us.
Which one? Well, me and Zuck share the same shirt. If it's the "Don't Be Silly, Jump the Gilly" one.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Did he mention that guy? What are you wearing?
This is Goku.
Oh, is that pristine?
No.
No. Okay, I don't know. Going back to Zuck. Zuck's got the hair. He's got the glasses. He's got the chain. Rate it for us.
I mean,
I think he looks great.
All that money, and we're gonna go with those sunglasses.
Oh, those fighting words.
Are those sunglasses or I feel like they're high tech stuff. So
beta blockers.
I'm gonna rate the fit at 10 though because I have the exact same shirt.
Zuck and I are gonna start he doesn't know this yet, but we're gonna start the MMA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to dive back into the DMs with old Zuck.
Listen, he doesn't know this yet, but we will be the ones to bring the MMA Hall of Fame, the independent Mixed Martial Arts Hall of Fame. We will bring it to light.
When are you guys going to go roll?
I'm not interested in that. He'll smoke me. You seen Zuck? Zuck without his shirt? He's got like an 8-pack. I'd love to have Zuck on the show one day to talk about all of this. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can we book it?
Yeah, get back in the DMs. I think he'll come on.
Can you ask our booker to book it?
Yeah, I'll get on it right now. I'll dial him up.
Hey, Ariel, can you get Zuck on the show?
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, hey, man, I just wanted to circle back here. We reached out to the booker. He's on it.
Okay, thank you. Oh, we do have some breaking news. Courtesy of noted football fanatic Eric Jackman?
CTSY?
CTSY. You just sent me a Slack. When did you send this? Oh, at 2:58, 30 minutes ago.
You're just on it today, huh?
Bro, I'm locked in here.
Dialed.
What you got? Tell us. What's the breaking
You sent me a Slack. The Buffalo Bills have traded for Amari Cooper.
Wow,
Wow, we got a font.
Wow, we got a font. Not to be confused with Amani Toomer.
No, definitely not to be confused with him at all.
Do we like this deal?
Amari Cooper's nasty.
Better than Devontae Adams?
Can you hit it?
I don't know if he's better than Devontae Adams, but
Who the F is we?
He's nice.
I need one of those.
Who the fuck is we?
Yeah, that's right. I should have played that for freaking Dustin.
He said that on our show, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
there's just like so much vitriol after like just listening to the guy that
because he was
talked.
talking about Chandler, saying like, you
that
know,
was one of the all-timers.
It's just
for us.
so
you
good.
just got here,
It's
bro.
so good.
Yeah. He's magic. Wow, this is exciting. This is good for us, right?
And Mari Cooper's a legend.
Who is us? Who are you talking?
Us? Where we all were? Come on, bro. You wouldn't be happy for you wouldn't be happy for me if
Yes,
the Bills won the
won
Super
it
Bowl.
all, Yeah.
I'd be happy for you, but
So it's
I'm not,
us.
We're not Bills
I'm
fans
not
though.
on
I
this.
signed the
Like,
1-year contract back in 2022. It didn't work out. I
Here's the
moved back
difference.
on to the
I'd be
NFL.
happy for you, but if they didn't win, I wouldn't be as sad as you. So that's not us. We're not
Listen,
in that like that.
When the Cavs won, I was happy for you.
You should be. But were you sad when they haven't won?
It's nice to know if you're happy
you
for
don't
me or
care. I
not.
don't care at all.
Is
We
he a
all know the Knicks-
WR1? Is he a WR1?
I don't think so.
He used to
but-
be.
Better than what we have. Better than.
Okay, yes, it's an upgrade. That I can grant you.
All right. What do we give up?
I don't know, man.
You
Jordan,
got nothing for
on
me?
air Jordan has this. Hold on.
I actually just found out about this.
All right. Well, a
third
third
and a sixth round pick. You know,
Okay.
how do we feel about that?
How do you feel? Stop saying we. Stop saying us. You.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at you guys. You guys are the one in fantasy football leagues and whatnot. I'm just listen.
PT, where's PT? I feel like if you just say his name, he appears. We did that yesterday.
Is he going to appear?
No, he's not here.
By the way, I was going to tweet this yesterday, but then I was too nervous about losing to the fucking Jets again at MetLife. It is an unwatchable product. It is an unwatch. That was an I mean, it was every single play. Flag. Holding.
There were a lot of flags.
Roughing the passer. One of the worst roughing the passer calls that I've ever seen.
You're saying the NFL period is an unwatchable
It is
product?
an unwatchable product.
Wow.
The stops, the starts, the amount of flags. Every time there's a
There's only
pass,
one person whose opinion I want on this.
Lads.
I was gonna say you sound like a proper football fan right now.
Listen, I don't
Can
know.
we- can-
Was that a drop or was that actually
No.
easy? Okay, that
We've got him.
I'm here.
What do you think of
Great
him
talk
saying
about this.
the most popular sport in the country and like one of the most watched
an unwatchable
product?
I actually might go to college football now because I heard it's better. Here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Every time there's a pass down the field and it gets broken up, are you not waiting 3,
the
2,
PI?
1 for the flag, the yellow
Yeah.
flag thing? Every time. Every single time.
No,
You
not every-
hold
There
your
was a
breath.
lot. Last night was bad.
Last night was bad.
Very
Last
bad.
night was unwatchable. And it was my
It was
team.
very, very bad.
It was unwatchable. It was like, please end this. This is not fun. There's nothing fun about this.
Look, you should be happy. Look, you're dragging yourself down now. You've got a massive get here in Amari Cooper. A lot younger than Devontae Adams. A lot more treading the tires, I'd say. He's been having a horrible year there at the Browns. Deshaun Watson's
my
done
favorite
absolutely
thing.
nothing. So,
Browns.
I mean, him, Josh Allen, I think it's a fantastic combination. Can you imagine how good Amari Cooper feels knowing that Josh Allen will be throwing him the ball and not that Deshaun Watson, an absolute joke and a cod of a quarterback?
Oh God.
Wow.
I feel like we is you and Pizzi, and Pizzi just stepped up big there. That was huge.
There you go. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons going into this year. So
You know what I mean? It's looking good. I mean, who is this kid, Coleman? I mean, he's so slow. I could outsprint this guy. This is what you need.
This is great.
Back to Dustin Poirier because I think we're losing all our viewers as we go on.
All right, see you later, lads.
1,000%. We're
Yeah.
getting into
Bye,
third
Pizzi.
and sixth round pick.
What do you got? Okay, so he's back, right? He's back.
You said definitively,
Yes.
I will fight again. That was his quote.
Yeah, no,
The quote was,
100%.
"I will fight again." And Rick here said, as soon as he started talking about Louisiana, we have to be there. That was Rick's quote on it. We
Oh my-
have to be in New Orleans if that fight actually happens.
Okay, so
Weigh-ins on Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Press conference.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it'd be.
it'll be
incredible.
a scene and a party, and I love the idea of the documentary if he's into it and all this
By
stuff.
the way, he has to do it with Michael Tucker and
Yeah.
and the dudes. Who
Michael
didn't fight.
Tucker made the first one,
Yeah.
but who does he fight? Because he mentioned I mean,
Diaz in Louisiana is,
but
that's as good as it gets.
but we're skipping a fight, right? Because
Yeah,
he
there's
said
one
He's got to do
first-
one more. He's got to
Right, so it's two. We got two. Who's the first one against? I like Gaethje. I like Hooker.
love both of those.
No problem with those. Love them.
Is there?
No, not Connor.
No. Okay, Taruki
Well, Hooker's
and
going to be
Gaethje.
on the shelf for 3 years now waiting to fight Conor McGregor. So
Yeah.
Tarukian Oliveira. No.
Oliveira, like that's not
There's
horrible, but I
one.
like Gaethje and Hooker much better.
Oliveira's
There's one I want, but it'll never happen.
Hooker. Benil. Who's that? Max.
come on.
I've said it.
Colby
You know
Covington?
which fight. Yeah.
The what?
Yeah,
What?
Colby Covington would be
Dustin
amazing.
and Colby.
That
no.
would be
I
amazing.
want
So by the way, he said I like the chaos, and then people in the chat I saw. Shout out to the chat. Give us a thumbs up if you're in the chat. Give us a sub. Give us a like.
When you say that, people drop in 1 million thumbs up.
I love it. I love it. I
I
see
do
it.
too. I do
Yeah,
too.
it's
I like
fun. Give us a thumbs up. If
I've
you're
been in the
watching
chat all day, dropping emojis and whatnot.
Okay, so people thought he was referencing Colby. I don't think he was. I think he was just saying chaos.
I
I don't
think
know.
so too.
He's been. I mean, he drops bars every time he comes on. What did he say today? He was like, not the way I fight. No one rides for free. Talking about like taking damage.
Oh, I love
the
that.
guy just he just is chock full of them.
I love that. I love
So
those
maybe
lines.
he was, dropping a hint at a Colby.
It's a good point. I think it's Gaethje. I think it's Hooker. It's there's a few ATT guys that you can rule out. Obviously Moicano. Obviously Mateusz Gamrot. Max is at 45. Beneil, that was talked about, didn't really do much for him. Chandler again. Let's see what happens here, but I feel like it's one of those two guys.
Let's say Max loses to Ilia Topuria. Do you think he would be willing to go back up to 155 and do a BMF fight with Dustin?
I like that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like Rick's shout as well.
Colby,
If
That's
he
the one,
does it,
baby.
that's the one.
That's the
if
one.
he does it, but I feel like he's
Come
pretty
on.
vehement on not wanting to do it.
Dustin only got 2 left. I want one of them to just be
If he finishes,
pure
if
animosity.
he finishes one against Colby and then finishes with like Diaz in Louisiana, headlining pay per view.
I'd almost if I'm Colby, and I know Dustin is doing 2 more, and one of them is going to be that last Louisiana fight. I'm just saying I'll go to enemy territory. I'm like preceding that. UFC, call him up. I'll fight him. Give me that guy.
I'd much rather see Colby and Dustin than Colby v. Ian. A lot of people are getting hyped behind that for a while. I didn't like the idea of that fight. Dustin v. Colby, I think, is really tasty if they can make it happen.
That would be amazing too. It would all be amazing. I heard that there was what was the story out there? Brady and Ian.
Yeah, actually, it was GC who told me that was a load of bollocks. So GC, take it away.
I've heard.
Listen, my sources say it's a load of bollocks.
Okay. All right, there it is.
Okay,
there it is.
I can't delve any further.
No, don't. You have to protect your sources, GC.
Well,
Reached out
guys,
to him. All I got, one word in response.
is that true?
Bollocks.
And that was to Brady, right? That you reached out to? Who said it?
It's my sources, okay?
Yeah,
My sources said that.
Sources,
Remember,
you have to
I
protect the
broke
sources.
Sean O'Malley, Piotr Jan back in the day.
Did you really?
Danny Rubenstein hit me up with the scoop.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about
no
it.
big deal. No big deal. Newsbreaker added it to the Twitter profile.
Yeah,
Giving out his sources there.
New Twitter picture. New Twitter picture you got. I saw.
Yeah, updated everything.
Oh, did you?
Updated the bio.
Yeah.
Felt it was time to kick it off. You seem upset.
Not at all. I was the one pushing for it. You had producer of MMA Hour there for like 6 months after we left.
Well, we've only
me?
been gone for like 2.5 months, but yeah.
No, guys, look, we've since yesterday we've now had 9 guests on the program, and some would say who's who, in particular in the world of MMA. Because I tried to tell you, everyone's like, is it going to be MMA? Is it going to be this? Are you going to talk football? We talked. I guarantee you, the 3 minutes that we talked about football here, NFL that is, people are going to complain about. But everyone. Text in right away. It's like nothing, like water off a duck's back. It was like butter, hot knife butter. Like boom.
Is a hot knife butter mechanical like that?
I don't know, but it was just like tomorrow. Demetrius Johnson, first interview since his retirement on the program. Chris Eubank Jr. on the program tomorrow. Craig Jones on the program. A fan. Easy, butter. Week 1, toughest guest to book. Toughest guest by far. Multiple texts, multiple asks, changing of times, multiple WhatsApp groups. Toughest test to book is an extended member of the Uncrowned family. So much so, not just extended, a co-host. This time next week, an official co-host. Ariel and Ade Show debuts October 22nd on DAZN, DAZN.com, the DAZN app. And yet, for some bizarre reason, it was so hard to book him. I don't know why. People say he's a diva. They call him Diva. I don't subscribe to that. And yet, the experience of trying to get him on the program was so difficult. I wonder if there is some truth to those statements. And so let us go to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and see if he has any explanation for I mean, wow, look at this look right here. This is crystal clear. Wow. I take it all back. It was all worth it. Holy shit. It's like you're in the room. It's like you're in the freaking room here.
It's too late to take it back. You can't just diss me and call me Diva Oladipo.
No. I said some people said it. I said some people said
it. You're the one that started this tagline, and now all of a sudden people run with it. Someone that like hashtagged me Diva Oladipo. I was like, 1 second. Where have they got this nonsense from? It's you. It's your mouth.
Why was it so hard? Why was it so hard?
I'm a busy man. I'm out here covering the boxing. I'm doing the tennis this weekend. I sat down with Rafael Nadal. I sit down with Ronaldo. I mean, what can I tell you? What can I tell you?
Wow, look at you. Mr. Riyadh season.
I squeezed you in.
Thank you. After multiple WhatsApp groups. Wow, look at you. From the boxing to the Six Kings, huh? What is this Six Kings? We were talking about yesterday. I was trying to get the explanation from Connor, who's a big tennis guy. What exactly is this?
Well, basically, 6 of the best tennis players in the world that will come together. They're going to win a bunch of money, and they're going to play in an exhibition. I say exhibition, it's a tournament, right? With the money that's involved. And I can't really tell you the amount because it's all hush-hush, but it's a lot of money, right? I mean, to get Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal over here, it's going to cost a lot. They got Alcaraz over here as well. They got Yannick Sinner, the current world #1. So they've got 6 of the best, and they're going to go toe-to-toe over 3 days.
Wow.
And the arena's sold out. The arena's sold out. You can't get a ticket. So it's going to be good stuff.
Same arena that the fight was at?
No, smaller one. It's called the Venue. It's a smaller one. I mean, that arena, you ain't selling out that arena. That arena's a joke, isn't it? It's massive. It's like 30,000.
I mean, these are big. Smaller. These are big names.
I mean, they're big names, but that arena's like a stadium. It's a football stadium.
All right.
Maybe could do it.
Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras. Are they? Are they? You named some names. Are they involved?
I mean, I don't know. Andre must be 50. I'm sure he can still. I'm sure he can still, serve and hit a ball. But he's 50, and funny thing is about Pete. It's interesting you mentioned him because, I mean, since Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, right, and because they've become so big, I think we all forget about Pistol Pete Sampras.
Yeah, legend.
When I grew up, he was a legend of the game. 14-time Grand Slam winner. I've been doing my research.
Wow.
There you go. I'm ready. I ain't playing, Ariel. I'm ready for this.
I love it. FAA, is he there?
What's FAA? Were you trying to trick me?
Felix.
FAA?
Felix, the Canadian lad. Felix.
He's not here. No. He's not here.
Auger, Olias, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do, I think. Felix I've heard of. Are you trying to trick me? Trying to make me fall down here? I'm trying. My first hurdle.
Bronze, he made it to the bronze medal match of the mixed doubles in the Olympic Games. NBD.
No, he's not here.
Okay.
He's not here.
Fair enough.
So it's Holger Rune and Daniel Medvedev. So it's Djokovic, Nadal, Alcaraz, and Rune, who's the only one not to win a Grand Slam, but is super talented, very, very young, and Daniil Medvedev, who won the 2021 US Open.
Incredible.
Look at that.
Look at you. I love it. I love it. Well, I can't wait. I'll be watching, and I was watching you on Saturday. Great stuff as always. You are the man. You are the face and voice of DAZN boxing. If you ask me, they always put out the graphic. You're front and center. All the respect right there. You're the man.
This is true.
And here we are 2 days later. Well, actually 3 days later, and people still talking about what transpired. And so let me ask you. I know you've weighed in. Your YouTube channel is fantastic. Ade Oladipo, just put it in there. You'll get right to it. Better be a Bivol, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you have scored it for Dimitri Bivol, yes?
This is correct. But I will say this. I am the biggest Bivol fan. I do have a Bivol signed jacket in my house. It's framed. So if the rounds are close, I probably am going to swing to Bivol on that. I'm just going to put my hands up. But I did have it Bivol 7-5, but it was super close. I'm not like Eddie Hearn. I'm not going crazy about the 116, 112. I can kind of see that as well.
Oh, wow.
Crazy close fight. It's what you like, right? I mean, do you like the aggression of Beterbiev, or do you like the kind of hit and miss and not get hit of Bivol? I prefer the hit and not get hit of Bivol, but it's what you like. It's very subjective.
So most people have actually said that I've heard, all right, it's subjective. It's, maybe Bivol wins by 2 rounds, but like 116, 112 was absurd. It's out of the question. You actually say you could see a path to it.
8-4 isn't as crazy as you like. You know what it was, yeah? There was a couple of rounds in there where Bivol just like outboxed Beterbiev for like the first 2 minutes. So automatically you give that round to Bivol, right? Because he done the better and the most work for 2 minutes. But then all of a sudden, Beterbiev like had a minute which was just crazy, and I'm like, okay, 1 second. Do the judges remember the first 2 minutes, or do they remember the last minute? And unfortunately, a lot of these judges will remember the last minute. They see Bivol's head getting knocked back, and they see him not running around, but they almost see him on the back foot. And I feel like you might swing that to Bivol. That's why I can understand a 116, 112. I personally had it 7-5 Bivol, but I can see a few different scorecards here.
Okay, I agree with you. I had 7-5 Bivol, enjoyed it very much, thought it lived up to the hype, was very surprised afterwards. I watched on DAZN, but after I like to consume all the content, Tim Bradley on ESPN said he was disappointed, said it didn't live up to the hype, didn't think that it was as great as we thought it was going to be. What do you think?
Tim Bradley, I sometimes wonder if it's Walter that's next to them ringside, or is it Bacardi or vodka? Because obviously it will look the same.
He actually wasn't ringside. He
crazy.
was in a studio in Vegas or something like that.
Even more reason then for them to have drinks flowing through the night. It's crazy. It was fantastic. It was not everything's going to be bloods and guts. It's not going to work out like that. This was so technical. This had so much fantastic tension. You didn't know what was going to happen. It kind of ebbed and flowed, it swayed, and then at the end of the night, we still didn't really know if the right man won. What more do you want? I mean, sometimes I feel like some of these, and it's normally American fight fans, they want about 10 knockdowns. Like, well, it's got to be to the death. And this wasn't that. This was two very highly skilled fighters that have known each other since they were kids. And yes, a couple of the rounds were, you know, seeing each other, having a look, but then they went to war. Bivol even stood his ground and tried to have a fight with the monster. I mean, what more can you ask for? And Beterbiev, I mean, that guy is the scariest fighter, I think, since Sergey Kovalev. I thought it was really good. I thought the energy in the arena, which is all the time being criticized by some, I thought that was really good as well. I think it was fantastic and so good. I think we're going to see it not just once, but maybe even twice. I think it was so good.
Okay, so everyone wants to see it again. There's no bigger fight in the light heavyweight division. Our guy Keith Idek, Uncrowned.com. I don't know if you've seen the new website where we're doing a lot of stuff. Obviously, in the world of combat sports, it's kind of a big deal. I don't know if you have checked it out yet. You're very busy over there, but do check it out because he has said Turki Al-Sheikh has to make it happen. I asked someone who's very close to this fight, and I said, is there a rematch clause? He said Turki is the rematch clause. And so if he wants it, we're getting it. And I saw the picture with the two of them, the three of them, obviously Turki in the middle. Do you think we are getting it?
I'm surprised you've not just reached out to Turki. I mean, you have his number. I mean, you could just call him. You just
don't pretend like you don't either. Don't pretend like you don't either.
He doesn't answer my calls. No, it has to happen, right? It has to happen. I mean, look, I feel sorry for the others. There's Joshua Boatsi was ringside. I mean, he's in a position where he should be fighting the winner. You've got David Morrell versus David Benavidez. The winner of that really should have a chance. But I don't care about those guys right now. I mean, these guys are so clear, number 1 and 2. Number 3 is in the distance. And I want to see number 1 versus number 2 again. I mean, I've waited nearly 3 years for this fight. It delivered. I'd like to see it again. Beterbiev couldn't have been 100% fit by the time the second fight rolls around. His knee should be okay. And if you're Bivol, I mean, you would have gone into that fight with a bit of apprehension. Now, though, you know you can compete and the gas tank can go 12 against that monster. So I think the second fight is as intriguing as the first fight. So I think you got to do it again.
Okay. We're going to bounce around here. And this, by the way, is a preview, if you will, our second preview of our show that actually officially debuts on October 22nd, 7 days from today, on DAZN, on the app, on .com, and then clips will be everywhere. And I can't wait. Every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. over in the UK and Ireland. Now I'm starting to see this stuff about, we were there in Wembley, Daniel Dubois, AJ2. I love AJ. I know you do as well. I have no interest. It should be Dubois versus the winner of Fury Usyk 2 or Usyk Fury 2. That should be the fight. What do you think about all this talk?
Yeah, that should be the fight. You know me, I'm a big AJ fanboy. That's what they call me.
Yes.
And if anyone was going to sell you the AJ Dubois rematch, it was going to be me. And if I'm not selling it, we have a problem. Because I can't say it. It's very difficult for me to sell it because AJ probably won about 30 seconds of that fight, maybe less, some might say. So unlike the fight we were just talking about, which was so close and controversial, okay, do that again. When the fight plays out the way AJ Dubois played out, yeah, I don't see why you would rush to do it again. I guess the only counter to that is AJ, every time he's lost a fight, he's gone straight back in there with the same person. Andy Ruiz went straight back in there and won his belts back. Alexander Usyk went straight in there and did okay. Didn't win, but did okay. So some will say that's what AJ's got to do. And I almost feel like if I'm AJ and I want to continue in the sport, the only route really is through Daniel Dubois. I don't know about any other fight. I'm trying to think of names at the top of my head. Is he going to fight a Bacoli? No. Is it going to be a Parker rematch? No. Do I have any real interest in? Oh God,
I have no interest.
It's a car crash. I was sold on that fight 5 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago. 3 years ago.
What about Fury if he loses? Fury if he loses.
You know what it is about the Fury thing? The Fury fight for UK fight fans would have been the biggest thing we've ever seen. Like, it would have been on the sides of London buses. They would have been on every news channel on planet Earth. It isn't that anymore. So I feel like I'm getting a watered down version because I wanted it to be number 1 versus number 2. At worst, number 1 versus number 3. If Fury loses, I mean, what is it? Number 3 versus number 8 or 9? It just doesn't have the same thing for me. I know this works in MMA, but in boxing, I just feel like we've missed the boat on these big fights, and that's the problem. I almost wish Turkey came along 3 years ago, and we definitely would have got AJ Fury and AJ Wilder. I feel like we've missed it. I want to see AJ at his best against Fury.
But isn't something better than nothing? Isn't a little bit of a scene of two giants coming together? Like, isn't that better than never getting it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, some people have compared it to Amir Khan, Kell Brook. You know, it happened 7 years
Manny
too
and
late,
Floyd
but
is the best example.
Yeah, but Floyd was still pound for pound number 1. Manny came off the Floyd fight and fought Timothy Bradley and destroyed him, talking of Timothy Bradley. So they're still very, very good. I don't know where AJ is. I mean, I kind of did some mythical rankings myself. I was like, okay, where's AJ? Where's AJ? I don't think AJ is a top 7 heavyweight anymore. So I don't know if I'm that interested. Would I still watch it? Yes. I'll probably still work on it. So let me not kick it to the curb that quick. But it's not what I wanted. I wanted to see AJ at his best versus Fury. This isn't it.
By the way, speaking of your rankings, I saw your rankings recently. Absurd. The heavyweight rankings, absurd.
How so?
You had Dubois over Fury.
Yeah.
Absurd.
100%.
Absurd.
Wait, what do you mean?
Wait.
By the way, one second.
Fury,
don't invite me on and then destroy me like this.
No, absurd.
I had him on.
Yeah.
Also, wait, I'm very much of what have you done for me lately? It's almost like the John Jones thing, by the way.
You lose to the number 1 pound for pound.
You
lose to the number 1 pound for pound best. Number 1.
And 1 second. And before that, he lost to your friend that you was on the show yesterday in Ngannou, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he not really? And before that, he fought a guy called Dillian White.
Yeah.
So, and then I got a look at what Dubois has done recently. Dubois beat up unbeaten Hrgovic. He's beaten AJ in front of 90,000+. He beat up Jarrell Miller. And he went to Poland and gave Usyk a good fight. I'm sorry, that's better than what Fury's done.
Wow.
That's better. I'm not saying he's a better fighter. I'm just saying his last 2-year run is better than Tyson Fury's last 2-year run. And that's why I have him above Tyson Fury.
So you bring up John Jones because the big discussion is it's what have you done for me lately? It's not a lifetime achievement award.
It can't be that, can it? It can't be a lifetime achievement award. If it is, then John Jones will stay number 1 forever.
No, I get that.
It has to be a what have you done for me lately? And I love Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury actually beats Daniel Dubois. But in a ranking system of what have you done for me lately, what Daniel Dubois has done in the last 12 months has been fantastic. And he's been underdog in all of those fights. Everyone's wrote him off to the point where they've sold the opponent he's fighting's fight next. Hrgovic is going to fight AJ when he beats Dubois. Jarrell Miller's going to fight AJ when he beats Dubois. AJ is going to fight Fury when he beats Dubois. And Dubois' like gone that. He's ripped up the script and thrown it in our faces. That has to be number 2.
How was that received on your YouTube channel when you said that?
Badly.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, very bad.
So most agreed with my
I had to block a few people.
Wow.
Yeah, they doing it. The Fury fans are very, I love the Fury fans, almost a bit like the AJ fans. I mean, they're very loyal. They're very, very loyal. And they came for me and I just had to block some channels, mute some people. They found me on Instagram. I had to block them there as well. That was all right. It is. I'm ready to go to war with anyone on this. I'm just not ready to have sort of fights on social media.
That's fair. By the way, I was so interested in the topic when I was over in London last month of why do some fans like AJ more than Fury and how AJ is received and vice versa, Fury more than AJ, all that. What's it been like a month later, a little less than a month later with Dubois? Like, has he taken the crown, so to speak? Do you feel like he's a bigger deal? Is he on talk shows? Is he being celebrated, or has it not really materialized?
Nah, nothing.
Why is that? Is that on him, or is that?
Yeah, it's on him, isn't it? It's on him. He doesn't really want to do anything. And I've spoken to Frank Warren about this, and he doesn't want to talk. He's very much, I just want to fight. That's it. I want to fight, and I want to go on holiday and enjoy my life in Brazil. That's all he seems to be doing at the moment. And I get it. Some people aren't built like that. Some people don't want the limelight. They almost look at it as a job, and I do my job, I get paid, and then I disappear. And I think Daniel Dubois is a bit like that. Look, he's not going to talk like AJ or Fury, is he? He's just not that guy. And I'm sure you have characters like that in MMA as well. He's just not that guy. But he has got a lot of respect from sort of the hardcore boxing fans. It's not really spilled over, I don't think, to the casual boxing fans. But the hardcore boxing fans, I mean, we respect him a lot. But in terms of seeing him on the Jonathan Ross chat show or Graham Norton, that's never going to happen. Like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine Daniel Dubois? Can you imagine Daniel Dubois?
I like he'd come in like his vest. He'd rock up there, you know, man, a few words, but he's come a long way. He's gotten better.
Yeah. The only thing is, yeah, I really appreciate him now.
He's a simple man.
I did an interview with him. He's a simple man who just wants to fight. And I think the sport needs that. Like, imagine it was just all sport was just the same characters. It would actually be quite boring. I like the fact that you've got some characters that like to talk. You've got some characters like Bivol and Beterbiev who don't like talking, especially Beterbiev. And you've got some characters like Derek Chisora that flip over tables. I like the fact it's all different characters. If they were all like AJ, it would be boring. If they were all like Fury, it'd be boring. You need a few Daniel Dubois sprinkled in the middle.
Amen. I do agree with that. They can't all be the same. I think that for the most part, as we approach the 1-year anniversary of the first Riyadh season card, October 28th last year, Francis versus Tyson Fury, we are approaching it. It's crazy what has happened. It's been a lot of, as we say here in America, home runs. Like, it's been stacked cards, fun nights. We saw that on Saturday. If I can nitpick about something to come, I'm disappointed Joseph Parker isn't on the December 21st card. We're talking heavyweights right now. Is that a miss? And who should Big Joseph be fighting? Because you can make the case that Joseph should be, if Daniel Dubois is going to be fighting someone next, it should be Joseph Parker, not AJ, right?
Agreed. And I still think he has a chance of fighting Daniel Dubois as well. I really do. I don't think it's in stone that AJ takes this rematch. But I personally think AJ shouldn't. And I think there'll be people in AJ's camp saying, no, let's wait until we see what happens with Fury and Usyk. And by that time, they would have had to have made up a mind as to who Daniel Dubois is going to fight. Frank Warren definitely wants him to fight in February. So if I'm Joseph Parker, although this is very disappointing right now, I just sit and wait for a little while. I sit and wait to see what could happen because it could be a life-changing moment. But yeah, look, I want to see Joseph Parker fight as well. I love him. I think he's almost a bit like Dubois. He's had this incredible last 12-month run. Incredible. And I think he needs to be rewarded, as does the likes of Martin Bakole and Zhili Zhang and Kabiel. There's a few heavyweights that I thought were going to be on this card. I actually thought it was going to be an all heavyweight card.
That'd be sick.
That's what it should be. It should have been an all heavyweight card, but we can't be too greedy. I mean, as you say, Riyadh season's given us a lot in the last 12 months, so I'm not going to be too upset about this one. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but let's be honest, Ariel, the last 12 months have been crazy, like crazy. So yeah, it is what it is.
As the face of UK boxing, as the voice of UK boxing, how would you feel if a Eubank versus Ben fight happens outside of the UK?
Let it happen.
At this
what
point?
It is? You know what I want? Yeah, at this point, I've just had enough. I've just had it. Honestly, I'm not even trying to skip the conversation about Eubank Ben. I heard you say you're going to get Eubank on tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
I've just had enough. This fight was supposed to happen 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and all the build-up was 6 months before the fight was supposed to happen. So it's 2.5 years of talking Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., and they've not had a fight. I mean, on Saturday was the closest we've ever seen them to actually getting face-to-face. And I'm just tired of it. I just want them to fight. I think enough with the Conor Benn should be banned for life nonsense.
Oh, gosh.
Because I can bring up 100 boxers who have failed tests that people go and support. And you got the little idiots at home and they could be banned him for life.
I don't get this.
He's taking
Why
so
is
many
he being held?
nonsense.
Why is he being held to a certain standard that others aren't being held to? In MMA, that would mean, if we are going to play by those rules, that would mean the likes of I don't know, Anderson Silva, John Jones. That would mean Canelo. Wow. That would mean so many guys would have never been able to fight so many fights after infractions. Whether it was knowingly or unknowingly, an infraction is an infraction. And this guy, we are dragging this on. I've talked to the top commissioners in America, who I think are the smartest people when it comes to sanctioning fights and fighters, who have said, yes, of course he can fight here. No problem. Bring him here. And yet in Britain, I feel like there's some... I don't know, there's an axe to grind, there's some history there. I don't know if it's his father, I don't know. What is it? Why is he being held to this different standard? And oh, by the way, if it happens in Riyadh, doesn't the British Boxing Board of Control sanction those fights? How could they do that? How will they allow it and not allow it in the UK? I don't understand this. And I know this is a question perhaps for an Eddie Hearn, but it is very confusing on this side of the table.
Yeah, well, Eddie Hearn, I think even Conor Benn have said that we will get some sort of ruling on this like in coming days, but they've been saying that for a few weeks. Yeah. So I think there must be a conversation that's happening in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And surely it's just a case of, okay, guys, look, this has been 2 years. Let's just all move on from it and slap me on the wrist and I move on, right? I mean, surely that's the case. As to why sort of he's still being vilified, I think maybe it's just a case of everyone else that seems to have tested positive for something almost runs and hides for 6 months and you don't hear from them. Conor Benn has fought back and fought back and fought back, and he's gone on social media and he's attacked people, and he's probably dealt with it the wrong way. But when you still speak to Conor Benn, I mean, Conor Benn is still adamant he did nothing wrong. And that's his firm stance since day dot. And I think some people almost want him to say, okay, look, I messed up. Can I swear on this channel? Can I swear?
Go crazy.
Oh, lovely. I fucked up.
Yeah.
And people want him to do
Apologies
that.
for the language. Put that up there. Put the apology.
And he hasn't done that. So look, it's a strange one. I think it's been done now. Like, let's all move on from it. I know some people said, oh, but he's had a couple of fights. He's not really had a ban or anything. Well,
come on.
He's had 2 fights in America, but I think we should all move on. And I think British fight fans will be upset if the fight was to happen in Riyadh. And I would slightly be upset as well. I do think it's the fight that I want to see in the UK. It's a fight that does a stadium in the UK. Maybe not Wembley, but maybe a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 60,000 or so.
Crazy.
And I just feel like with the history of the dads, you've almost got to have that fight in the UK. There's some fights for me that are non-negotiables. It's got to be in the UK, and I think this is one of them.
But it doesn't seem like it's happening in the UK, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah. I do think that there's probably going to be a Riyadh season event, I think around March, and if it is, I wouldn't be shocked if it's headlined by those two.
By the way, what weight?
Middleweight. That's a big problem as well, by the way. It's just ridiculous. It's a big problem. Like, Conor Benn is a welterweight.
Yeah.
I know he's had his last 2 fights at 154, but I saw the opponents. He was small. Like, they were even too big for him. And, the last time Chris and Conor were going to fight, Chris was going to come down to 157 pounds. He ain't doing that this time. Yeah. There is no compromise. He's going to say, look, you want to fight me, you come to 160. And I don't know how Conor's going to do at 160, but if the fight happens, it's definitely a middleweight fight, which it doesn't make sense. But I mean, boxing doesn't make sense sometimes, so it is what it is.
Let's stick with the UK boxing theme. I'm fascinated by what's happening with Ben Whittaker. A lot of people, including yourself, very high on him, silver medalist. What a showman. The walkout, Crystal Palace, I loved it. The fight wasn't great. Now this one against Liam Cameron, not great as well. And then the finish was straight out of WWE. Royal Rumble, 1994. Lex Luger, Bret Hart, they both fall over the ropes in almost the exact same way. It was crazy. And he can't continue. And then the stuff comes out with Liam where he was mistreated and he feels like he was, being disregarded. He signs with Queensberry, it seems. So smart move by Frank Warren. And then we see the footage, or we hear about these reports of Ben hitting someone's phone. He's frustrated. People are attacking him. What do you make of what has happened to Ben Whittaker since Saturday?
Yeah, we are seeing Ben Whittaker, to coin a WWE phrase, he's turned heel.
Has he? Has he?
He must have. I mean, the smacking the phone out of someone's hand. I mean, Ben's the kind of person you go up to and you take photos with him, you do all those kind of stuff. He's doing all sorts, Ben, right now. So I don't know, man. You know what it is about Ben? I'm the biggest Ben Whittaker fan on planet Earth. I think he's sensational. But I did a video on my YouTube channel saying, the amount you talk, you've got to deliver. Like, I'm all for people talking, but if you're going to talk that amount of smack, you've got to go in the ring and do some stuff. And, he admitted it the last time he fought that guy, Ezra Erenyeka, at Selhurst Park. I asked him to score it, and he actually said, I'll give myself a D.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, that means we're going to see something a lot better this weekend. He's like, absolutely. I'm going to destroy him, and then I'm going to go to the changing room, and I'm going to eat some food. And that's not what happened. So, there's going to be some flack, but there's always going to be flack when you talk that smack. You like that, innit?
That was not, put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt.
Thank you. So, look, I mean, he's going to get a lot of flack. The British fight fans really dislike him. They dislike anyone that does a bit of showboating. They would have disliked Prince Nassim Hamed. They would have disliked Muhammad Ali. But the difference is those guys obviously delivered.
Yeah.
So you then start to like them. Ben Whittaker's got a long road back, but I still am in the Ben Whittaker fan club. I think he can still become one of the best fighters on planet Earth. So I haven't decided to get rid of him yet. But he's very close. He's on the exit door. He needs to come and do some good stuff.
They have to run it back, though, right? They have to.
They have to. I mean, they have to. I think what a lot of fight fans haven't noticed as well, I don't know if you've seen it, but he was initially trained by Sugar Hill Stewart, obviously the trainer of Tyson Fury. The last 2 fights, it hasn't been Sugar Hill in the corner. Sugar Hill's not been his trainer. And the last 2 fights have been his worst performances. So maybe there is a case of, okay, let's get Sugar back and let's figure this thing out. Because what you don't want to do is just build all this superstar presence he's built. I mean, he's got 3 million Instagram followers, and then it just kind of just drops down like a lead balloon. I think you need to kind of work on your team, work on just, I don't know, having that balance between all the social media and all the brands and all this new attention and still being Ben Whittaker, the boxer. There needs to be a balance there. And I think maybe he's tipped it in the wrong way. Maybe.
I don't think he looked for a way out, but that voice will get even louder. Those dissenters will get louder if they don't do it next. If they don't do it next, then it's like, oh, you felt this guy's strength, you got worried, you looked for a way out, and now you don't want to run it back. So they need to squash all that talk, run it back.
What do you think happened then?
I don't freaking know.
What do you think happened? Because I've watched it so many times, and I honestly
weird.
have no idea I don't know if Liam's pushing him out. I don't know if Ben's holding onto him and push. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. I have no idea who's at fault here. It was a sprained ankle as well. And when I heard about it being a sprained ankle, I wanted it to be more. I wanted it to be a torn Achilles or his ankle's broken. A sprained ankle just, it's not enough, is it? It needed to be more.
It's hard to fight with a sprained ankle.
You know what the issue is about this, by the way, is that I saw a comment section below and it said David Haye fought with a torn Achilles against Tony Bellew. And I was like, Everyone's pain threshold is different. Everyone, I can't fight, so who am I to talk? But sprained ankle's a bit, I don't know. All I will say is that the Brits are on him right now.
Oh, yeah.
But you'd rather have a situation where they either like you or hate you. You don't want a situation where they're just indifferent and don't tune in. They're going to tune in next time because they want to see him get chinned. And that's not a bad thing.
They love Fabio Wardley right now. What a knockout. Vicious, terrifying. Fraser Clark's head was indented. His jaw was misplaced. That was vicious stuff. I saw your co-host also, your colleague, friend of mine, longtime friend, Gareth A. Davies, said he saw him at the airport. The jaw was wired shut. Scary stuff, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a case of you don't play boxing, right? And I know we sort of throw that phrase around a lot, but that was scary. Like being ringside and seeing that. And then, so Chris Mannix, if you watched the show, Chris Mannix had done all the interviews prior to that. So I was just sitting ringside, obviously, because I was hosting the show. And they said, Ade, you're doing the interview. So I didn't know I was going to actually go and do the interview. It kind of makes sense, I guess, an all-British heavyweight title fight, get the Brit in there. So when I went in there, I tried to just, make a beeline to have a look at Fraser in the corner, and you could see the dent, and he was still out, and it kind of frightened me. It frightened. Obviously, look, I know the dangers of the sport. I've covered it and watched it for years, but seeing that up close and seeing the punch, which was basically a free punch, because he'd landed one, and Fraser was kind of already out, and then he had free reign to land another one. And Fabio Wardley, everyone knows in the boxing scene that he hits as hard as anyone. So look, I don't know what happens with Fraser. Fraser's 33 years of age. It's difficult to come back from that, I think. But I guess in the heavyweight division, you can go on and on and on until you're 40. So hopefully it's just a case of him taking a long time out, heal physically and mentally, because it was a very important fight for him. And we'll see what happens with Fraser. But yeah, that was an image that's going to stay with me for a long time. because it's not just the indentation, it's the way his jaw kind of slops to one side as well. And it's that was scary to see.
Yeah, last time I saw something somewhat reminiscent of that was Michael Venom Page, the knee to Cyborg's head. Cyborg Santos there, and it indented right there. I
remember the X-ray vision of that.
It was awful. Jaya Patai, I know you're a big fan. Big win for him. Most expected it. And we see what happens next month with CBS. If he wins, obviously that's the fight to make. And one more, if I may, on Riyadh season. I would love to see Sky Nicholson.
Wait. Is that all about Jaya Patai?
Yeah, that's it. That's
it about Jaya. Jaya just gets a sentence.
He gets a sentence. Well, my friend PT Carroll called the cruiserweight division in boxing. He said it's the women's featherweight division of MMA. He said it's a throwaway division. Okay. Could you believe that? Yeah. Could you believe that? So I was just trying to stick with that theme. Is that inaccurate?
Okay. Yeah, I get what he means, actually.
I disagreed. I don't think that's fair. Usyk came from cruiserweight, Vander Holyfield, many others back in the day. That's not fair. Jai's really good. He's top 10 pound for pound.
Jai's fantastic, and he's on his way to being in that top 10. I think the issue is it's almost a division that's not cared about in America. So no one cares about it. I almost feel like if we had a brash, loud American, then maybe people would be more interested. But he is number one in that division by a country mile. And I feel like I needed to see that performance on Saturday to kind of reaffirm that in my brain, because he wasn't that great in the last couple of rounds against Marius Bradis, but he is so violent and scary and so good. I wish he was like, he's 6'1". I wish he was like Usyk 6'3", because I feel like he could go up to heavyweight and, I don't know, compete in the land of the giants. But yeah, he's so good. Very special fighter.
There was a photo of him sparring with Robert Whittaker, who looks to be in fantastic shape, going up to fight Khamzat in about 11 days. I would love to see that in person. But I wanted to ask about Sky Nicholson and Amanda Serrano.
Let's just hope that Khamzat makes it there.
We were talking about this earlier.
Let's just hope that Khamzat makes it there, right? Because Khamzat is what I thought Pereira was going to be.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm not joking. You know, when Khamzat 3 years ago, when we first sort of laid our eyes on him, and he was talking about, I'm going to smash everyone, and he started picking up people up and throwing them to the ground. I was like, oh my.
Terrifying.
I'm not joking. I thought this, terrifying.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, he's going to be welterweight, middleweight, and maybe even put on a bit of size and go up and do some damage at light heavyweight. And all of a sudden, it was nothing. Nothing. Honestly, he is exactly what I thought Pereira was going to be. And look, there's still a chance. Whittaker, obviously, as you know, fantastic. Looks in good condition, as you say. But this isn't going to be easy. If this fight was made 3 years ago, I'd have said, Khamzat, yes, because he's this guy that smashes everyone. Now, I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure.
See, this is what I love about you. Everyone tries to paint you as just being the boxing guy, but you're so much more than that. Your MMA knowledge on par with your boxing knowledge. See, I say this, and yet you continue to say that I can't compete with your boxing knowledge, which is fine. I'm humble. I could take it. Our show, which again premieres a week from today, October 22nd on DAZN, the Ariel and Ade Show. It's a great graphic that they put together. The whole package.
Is it still that?
It's still that. No, we've that train has left the station. We could go in a million different directions. Obviously, it's a boxing heavy show. But if we want to talk, if we want to talk Forest Liverpool, we could talk Forest Liverpool. I'm still not quite done with that one. If we want to talk a little tennis, we could talk a little. If we want to talk MMA, we could talk a little MMA. So I just want to let everyone know that we can go. We're very versatile, me and you. We can go in a million. Anywhere.
Dude, we could go darts.
We could go darts. You want to talk Michael Van Buren? We could talk MVG. You want to talk Luke Leather? We could talk Luke Leather.
Look at you.
Sky Serrano. Michael Smith. Yeah. Bully boy. Sky Serrano. What do you think? Can it happen? Will it happen?
No.
It won't happen.
No, I don't know. I don't think it'll happen at all. No. Sometimes I think with boxers, you get the old guard just not wanting to fight the new guard.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. It's just a case of Serrano's probably thinking, do you know how long it's taken me to get into this position? And you think I'm just going to give you the opportunity? So I think Serrano's in a situation where she's only going to now fight her fellow old guard. And we see it a lot. It happens. I'm more interested in Sky Nicholson versus Alicia Baumgardner.
Love that fight.
Yeah, because I look at Alicia, and I'm not saying Alicia's as good as Amanda, but Alicia's so aggressive, and I just want to see someone put it on Sky. Like someone that can actually really box to her level, but is quite aggressive and ferocious in the ring. And I still think that person's Alicia Baumgardner. Leave Serrano to do what she's doing with Katie Taylor. Serrano's the old guard. Let her just go off into the sunset. Let this nude guard swing it out.
Okay.
And I think a boxer like Sky versus a boxer puncher like Alicia is, I think, the fight to make next.
All right. So you mentioned that fight. It is exactly 1 month from today, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, of course, the chief support, if you will, or the co-main event to Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. They dropped the promo this morning. Okay, so that was the question. As we stand here, sitting here, exactly 31 days from that fight, your level of interest / excitement for the much talked about Mike Tyson, Jake Paul clash?
My interest for Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, God. You know what? Let me tell you something, yeah?
Yeah.
And I have none. There's zero.
Zero?
There's zero.
You're going to watch?
There's zero.
You're going to watch?
I watch the highlights. Yeah, I watch the
Nah,
highlights.
you're going to watch. You're going to stay up.
You know what it is?
There's no way you're not going to watch.
Because I love Jake Paul. I love Jake Paul. I love everything he's doing. MVP. I think it's fantastic. I think the way in which he's helped like boxers like Serrano become. Serrano's always a household name, but for her to get the check that warrants, you know, the name that she's built up over the years. So I love everything he's doing. I just don't like this fight. Like Mike, I saw a picture of Mike in a wheelchair 7 months ago. Mike's 58, Ariel. He's 58 years old, and Mike doesn't live like a nun. Like Mike's not living like Bernard Hopkins, is he? Let's be honest, he's not. Mike tricked us all 4 years ago when he fought Roy Jones Jr. Remember those clips that were coming out and those little 30-second clips? And I was like, oh my God, Mike's back. This is sensational. And then when he fought, he didn't move. I was like, 1 second. So that was 4 years ago. What's he going to be like now? Mike, at best, has got 30 seconds in him. At best. And I just don't want to see Jake hurt Mike because Mike's all of our hero.
So but you think Jake can hurt him?
Of course he can. Absolutely. Jake, you know, say what you want about Jake. Yeah, Jake can box. Jake can box. He's big and he can punch. He's young. He's healthy and does live the life. Like I've seen Jake hit bag and Jake's taking this sport really serious. That's why I don't even class Jake as a YouTube boxer anymore. Like he's taking it serious now. Jake's beyond that. So Jake can hurt Mike a lot. I mean, let's just, for argument's sake, say Mike was a 58-year-old that did live the life and was super healthy. I would still think Jake could hurt him, let alone a guy that was in a wheelchair 7 months ago. Like, was that a fake image? Was that AI? Did that not happen?
I don't know.
Did you not see their wheelchair?
I don't know if it was 7 months ago. I think that's 2 years ago or something. But yes,
was it two?
He did.
Why did the fight get called?
Also, yes. Yeah, no, he had an ulcer, and he had an issue, and it was a health issue.
Okay.
And I think there were people who were willing to disregard the age before all of that, and then I think a lot of people, once that happened, said like, "Nah, this fight shouldn't happen." That's a fair thing. I think that's a very fair thing that people were saying.
I don't know how people were willing to disregard the age as though that means nothing. I mean, like, how old was Anderson when Anderson fought Jake?
I believe off the top of my head, 47. I believe
47. But that was still an Anderson that, I mean, a few months prior or a year prior beat Julio Cesar Chavez. So I gave him a bly on that one. I thought, okay, Anderson's still in great shape. Yeah, Anderson still can fight. That's the limit, though. A 58-year-old is almost bullying.
No,
it's ridiculous. I'm not happy with it. I want Jake to fight people his own age, his own weight, his own level. I mean, that's what I want. And there are plenty of those guys out there. Like, why do you have to pick on Mike? I don't get it. Leave Mike alone. Let Mike just do his weed factory and entertain us with podcasts.
Well, you have revealed that, and I appreciate and respect it. Can I make a revelation, and then I'll let you go? And by the way, I do have to say,
wait, you're working on it. You're working on the event, aren't you?
No. I mean, no, that's old news.
Okay.
I do want to say a lot of great people have worked very hard from a technological perspective on our new show and whatnot. I have to give the MVP of the Day award to our good friend Mason over at DAZN for what he's done for you over here. You've never looked and sounded better. I don't know if you can get him on retainer. I mean, you look fantastic right now. The lighting, the quality.
He's got a light here. He's got a light right there.
Mason Kelly, the man. I mean, he has crushed it. So shout out to him. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but well done.
He's right there. He's literally right in front of us. He can hear you. He can hear you.
All right. Here's my revelation before we go. And this is going to be one of the hottest takes that I've ever had and very controversial. And I understand that. And I'm willing to put myself out there and throw myself into the fire.
Oh, God.
Every hour, especially leading up to the show, I've been listening to the same song over and over to get myself pumped up, hyped up. And I love it. And I'm so into it. And I can't stop singing and humming it. I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows. So into it grows. So, you know that song?
No.
From the pen to the ring to the sin, the crown and final point. You don't know that? KSI's new song. Think of it. I love it. He's getting a lot of flack. You haven't seen all the hate that he's gotten.
He loves it. He's
gotten so much hate.
He loves it.
And I think he's smashed it. Top 100 Billboard.
Is that it?
He's killing it. Never before.
Wait, when you say top 100, are we talking like when you say that number, top 100?
Yeah.
Are you saying it's like 99 or are you saying top 100?
I think 86 is what 10? I saw. And I don't think he 86? Ever debuted at a number that high. He's killing it. No, I'm not. By the way, this is not a gag. I actually think it's a great song. People have made videos. I saw all the YouTubers shitting on him, Jake shitting on him, everyone shitting. I think he has hit a home run here. I think this is triple platinum.
You know what I like about KSI?
JJ. We call JJ.
JJ, between us, we know him, right? I just like that he just tries things, doesn't he? Like he is a proper, like I will try and do this and I don't care about the reaction. Like he's clearly not a rapper or a singer, but he's given it a good go and he's done okay. I've not heard the song.
You haven't heard it?
I do like it. No?
That's your boy.
Wow. Yeah, but it's not my type of music. I would download it. I'll give him my one.
Listen to it after this. Listen to it after this and let me know. I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows some of it.
What is it? Is it a rap song? What is it?
It's a little poppy. It's a little poppy.
I don't do pop songs.
Give it a chance.
I'm more like neo soul. I like a little hip hop. I'm Tupac. I'm Kendrick. I'm very much that.
Of course you're
That's
Kendrick.
Me.
Of course you're one of the
You know I'm Team Kendrick.
Yeah. Of course you want him at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, obviously Drake.
That's listen. I don't jump off the bandwagon. I don't jump off. I don't believe these allegations. That's my guy. He's a fellow tribe member. He's a fellow Canadian. I can't believe. By the way, I've never said this. I can't believe Kendrick is playing at the Super Bowl. I can't believe what one song that is now overplayed and you get a Super Bowl spot. Is that what it takes?
One second.
That's
are you saying Kendrick's? Oh, wait. Are you saying Kendrick's career is about one song?
It's pretty much that. That's all I hear.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm at little kids' birthday parties, and they're like,
Ariel? Ariel, you're better than this.
Little 12-year-olds are singing, dun, dun, dun. Great song, but the song is completely overplayed and has become corporatized.
It's so good.
And there's little kids saying A minor, and I'm like, you don't even know what you're saying.
Do you think he plays that at the Super Bowl?
Probably. It's his claim to fame.
Wow.
It's his claim to fame.
That's embarrassing for me, Ariel.
Yeah, no.
And you're saying it like even without blinking.
How many bangers? Banger for banger. How many bangers? Drake?
Oh, no. Look, it depends what you mean. See, Drake is party songs, and I give him that. Someone did play me Drake's hit list the other day, and I was like, I forgot some of the songs.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? Kendrick's songs are more, I'm at home, chilling, I've got a little glass of something. That's my kind of music.
Yeah.
I don't go to clubs anymore. When was the last time you went to a club, Ariel?
That has nothing to do with anything.
Oh, no. When was the last time you went to a club?
Talib Kweli, Common did it better. They did it better. They did better.
He's in that
yeah,
realm.
That's right. That's right.
Kind of where he is.
Listen, I know my stuff when it comes to hip hop. I know we could talk all day long about it. And here's the thing. It shocks me that the Super Bowl would have him as the halftime. He's fine.
Yeah, it should be Lil Wayne.
I was just about to say it should be Lil Wayne.
I agree. To go to his area and not use Lil Wayne's is just a disgrace.
Can I ask you this? If he didn't have the feud, would he be playing the Super Bowl?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But the feud was so big, it took over the world.
I'm just saying.
So
you can't.
You go with what's popular.
No,
every person that's played. Well, 1 second. Everyone that's played the Super Bowl halftime is because of their popularity. Yes or no?
Yeah, but popularity off another man's back. Popularity of another man's back.
Are you trying to tell me that Kendrick wasn't popular before the Drake beef?
That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
You know what I like, Ariel? We can do everything on the show.
We can do it.
We can go anywhere. We can go anywhere.
But we are out of time. This has been a pleasure. Great stuff on Saturday.
No. 5 more minutes. I've been told, and then I get paid double.
Yeah.
Keep going. They've got over
Mason.
time. Like
or Mason. Somehow you got him to shoot you so well. We were going to do a Zoom interview like everyone else, and you got this. Fantastic.
I said no Zoom.
October 22nd, DAZN. Finally, we get to do this. I mean, I feel like we just did it, but we get to do it again. And we'll have guests join us. And then when we're on location, like we were back in September in London, we could do it together as well. It's going to be a grand old time. Enjoy the tennis out there. Well done to you over the weekend. And we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
There he is, Ade Oladipo of the Ariel and Ade Show, and of course of DAZN and Talk Sport. I could feel the hate radiating from the control room when I was getting into the Kendrick and Drake stuff.
I just really don't know how you go from like talking about KSI song as a masterpiece, and then you're like Kendrick Lamar, one-hit wonder.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows. You guys have heard it. Have you guys heard it?
Yeah, I've heard it.
You've only played it for us every minute on the minute.
I still have not.
Do your kids like it?
You know, my kids have been in Montreal because it was my wife's grandmother's 100th birthday. They're coming home today. I'm going to ask them. I'm going to play it for them if they haven't heard it. They're usually up to speed on the hip hop these days. It's crazy. They're telling me about things like, they told me about this guy.
I honestly think it would be weird if you had to introduce your kids to the KSI song instead of vice versa.
They're more into like Kai Cenat and those guys, less the sidemen. By the way, did you see John Cena show up on the Kai Cenat? Oh, man. You didn't see this?
No, I'm 31
I don't know
years
who Kai
old.
Cenat is.
Kai Cenat is like he's like a hardcore, he's like
Streamer.
a YouTube. Yeah, he's kind of like iShowSpeed.
Kick.
I feel like
What does hardcore
Twitch-
YouTubing
you're tracking these
entail?
more than the rest of us because of the kids these days.
Yeah. There's just no chance I'm sitting there watching John Cena pull up on a.
What is that noise, by the way? Do you guys hear that wish-washing sound?
Yeah, that is Rick breathing into his microphone.
Jeez Louise, Rick.
It's absolutely not.
It
I didn't even
absolutely
take a
is.
breath.
What is
Blow
happening?
the house down.
Like-
over here.
He's disgusted.
It sounds-
He's absolutely disgusted.
I'm off.
That was absolutely not even
I will
me.
play it back for you.
Sure, but it wasn't
Big
me.
bad
You can
wolf
play back
over
the
here.
sound. It wasn't me.
Grabbed your microphone, huffed and puffed.
Yeah, we're
before
just
as you hit the
me,
talk
Ariel,
button.
and Pete's here. The three little pigs over here. Rick's about to blow our house down.
I don't know what to do at this point. Like,
Uh,
gaslighted all over the place. Like we're talking about.
Did you
the
format the
ingest,
media?
The Keypro. I mean, this is
Anyway,
Remember where you are. Like, remember the stations. Just remember. I'm
what happened now?
I just got tired of hearing
Oh
it.
my God,
He just turned him off.
you can't do that. That's too much power to give to Frank. Anyway, you guys got to see this clip. I will share it with you if you want. John Cena enters his basement and now is on the stream with Kai. And at one point, I'm sure someone out there in the chat, give me a thumbs up if you've seen this. Legit.
Pathetic.
No, listen. John Cena legit goes on like a 3-minute diatribe about life and about enjoying life and about appreciating life and about the meaning of life. It's actually beautiful. And Kai Cenat is just completely disregarding everything that he's saying. He's looking at the stream. He's checking himself out. You could tell when someone's paying attention and not, when they're taking it in and not. He is not taking in a word of what John Cena is saying. And it's very sad. It's very deflating because it's like, yo, man, you're
Maybe
so
you just
big.
didn't see him.
Good one. Good one.
I mean, he's what? How old is Kai? 20?
No. He freaks out. John Cena, it's a great thing. He like jumps into his basement. He like barrels in and he's like, John Cena, you can't see me. He goes nuts. And then John starts to, they eat a Big Mac. I think Kai has a Big Mac.
Oh, the chicken Big Mac.
Yeah.
It just came out, just dropped. Big stuff.
Then he just kind of tuned it out, huh? He just
He totally tuned it out.
Yeah,
And
he's young, you know? Young success.
It's tough.
Doesn't want to hear.
Okay, a couple things and then we'll go. Great stuff all day. All the guests were fantastic. Want to give a shout out. We didn't get a chance to do this yesterday, but over the weekend, completely flying under the radar here in the United States, a promotion in Europe known as Octagon with a K, 60,000 people, Pizzi, 60,000 people at the, the Deutsche Bank Stadium, I believe it was, in Germany. Am I correct?
It was in Germany, all right, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And 59,000 if we're splitting hairs, let's be honest. You know what I mean? 60,000. Don't be getting ahead of yourself. But it is the 5th largest attended event in the history of MMA, I believe. They've obviously got, as far as I'm concerned, there's a rivalry going here for control of Central Eastern Europe between them and KSW. KSW, of course, in 2017 had that 57,000 odd people in the National Stadium in Warsaw, I believe it was, for their Coliseum event, I think you'll remember. So this is going one up on that, according to their numbers, 59,000. Octagon have been around for about 8 years. I think they're about 2015, 2016. And they have this amazing presence in that part of the world, Eastern Central Europe. And I mean, this is a nod to how big they are. I can remember back at the Coliseum event, I was celebrating that, like saying this is astronomical what KSW managed to do. And there's all these detractors like, how much are they selling the tickets for? It doesn't matter. If you can get that many people in an arena to watch MMA, it's a massive win. I do feel like we're slightly out of the loop as well in the UK and Ireland, which was the same with KSW for a very long time. But Octagon are making a conscious effort to kind of get that side of things involved. Like Sam Creasy is a well-established UK fighter. He's one of their champions now with Will Fleury on that event. Like, they're doing a lot to try and embrace the UK and Irish market. Even last year, they had a reality TV show with Paddy Houlihan and Brad Pickett as the coaches on an Ultimate Fighter kind of thing. Like, they are making an effort, but this is far beyond an effort. This is a home run, massive success to them, and it looked absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's huge. It's actually Deutsche Bank Park in Frankfurt. I said stadium. So
it's all right. It's okay.
I mean, good on them. That's a pretty big deal. I don't know if there are many fights that can draw 60,000 here in the United States. We talked about this after the AJ Dubois card. So that is a huge accomplishment. Well done to them. Talked about this with Renato Moicano. Dana White yesterday gets on social media and says it's time to change the rankings. Once and for all, it is time to change the rankings. He was very upset that Khalil Rountree, after the incredible performance against Alex Pereira, was not moved up. He did not go up from 8 to, 5, 4, 3, 2. Here's what Dana White said yesterday on social media.
All right, here we go. I know it's reversed. Can't see it on here, but the moron strike again. Khalil Rountree fights that badass fight against Pereira, and the morons rank him number 8. Keep him at number 8. Literally this week, I have a meeting to try to fix the rankings and get all these know-nothing, do-nothing motherfuckers out of it. So hopefully this week I get this fixed. Have a great day, everybody.
And here are said panel members that he's talking about. Now, they no longer actually write the names of the people. He now, or they now, on UFC.com/rankings, at the very bottom of the page, they put the outlets, okay? They put the outlets of the people that he is so mad about, where they work, where they represent, or who they are representing when they're taking part. So the UFC came out, and keep this up here for a minute, the UFC came out with these rankings a year into their deal with Fox. It was actually a Fox thing because Fox felt when they're doing these cards, 6 versus 3, 4 versus 8 meant something to the casual fan as opposed to Dan Hooker versus Bobby Green. So they wanted rankings. So first it was 10. Then, the cards got a little more watered down. So they wanted 15. So they could say 13 versus 11 and 15 versus 10, etc. So they started these rankings, and Dana White never wanted rankings. He never wanted rankings, but they kept it, and it became a nice promotional tool. The rankings were always independent of the UFC, so we were told, where it's the media is going to take part. Now, they invited all of us to take part. A lot of people, including myself, said we don't feel comfortable because we don't want to have a say in how matchups are being put together. So I just didn't feel like it was something that I wanted to be a part of. I think rankings are great. They're important. They mean something, but ultimately, in this day and age of the UFC, they don't mean much. Witness the fact that Khalil Rountree, number 8, got a title shot over people who are higher ranked than him. So what does it mean? What's the point, ultimately, if they don't lead to the best fighting the best and title fights? These are where these people that he's talking about are coming from. KOHN Honolulu, that's a local Honolulu station. MMA Oddsbreaker. CFMU 93.3. I have no idea where that is. Burstprac.se. Fight News. Fight Network, which no longer really covers MMA from a news perspective. Gazeta Esportiva. Cherokee Scout. Burbank Leader. MMA Weekly. KIOZ 105.3. Another random radio station. VladuSport.com. Wrestling Observer. Top Turtle Podcast. My MMA News, MMA Fight Radio, Boxeo Mundial, Kimura.se, MMA Soldier, MMA Nyut, Blood and Sweat, Insight Fighting Radio. Now, I'm not trying to disparage any of these names. I'm not trying to put these people down or these outlets down. This is not top tier MMA outlets. It's just not. You're not seeing the biggest names in MMA media. I hope that's not an insult to anyone. And then, who are the people? I have actually joked in the past that they're not real people. That it's actually, It's bots. That's what I've said. Now, I know that is weird now because they're talking about AI and all this stuff. They're talking about like actually putting it to the computers to do it. Here's what I would say. Yes, thank you. It's about time. They instituted these, I think, in 2013, 11 years ago. I would say to Dana White, thank you. Please get rid of them. Please do away with them once and for all. End the charade. End the charade that these are real. End the charade that you guys even listen to them. End the charade that there's actual people from credible outlets that cover MMA on a daily basis, because that's what it should be. It shouldn't be the guy who likes MMA, who works at the radio station that maybe talks about MMA once a year when Conor McGregor fights or is in the news. End the charade. Wipe it all out. It's embarrassing that it's even a part of the UFC, that this is even used sometimes to dictate matchups. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't have a say. And make your own. Make your own. I would actually be more interested in who the UFC thinks is in the top 5 in the light heavyweight division. And I would be more interested to, on Tuesday morning, wake up and be like, oh, okay, they have now Khalil at 3 after that performance. You book the fights anyways. You ignore the rankings anyways. You do whatever you want anyways. So let us know what you're thinking. You let us know what you're thinking by making the fights. Get us in there a little closer. Let us see how the sausage is made. You make the rankings. I want to know what Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard think. That is more interesting to me than this fakakta make-believe ranking system that you guys have in place that you don't even pay attention to begin with. So why are you getting mad about it? Why is it thrown in our face? Why do we even have to talk about it as a talking point? If you think that Benoit Saint Denis is on the level of Dustin Poirier, let us know. Book that. And tell us that it's actually 5 versus 4. It's actually 6 versus 9, whatever it is. Do away with it. Kill it. Make the official UFC rankings. Let us know what you think. And then ultimately, the whole thing makes more sense because you're booking the fights anyway and you're ignoring the rankings. If the rankings were a real thing that you actually respected, Khalil Rountree doesn't get a title shot. But they aren't a real thing and you don't respect them. So just do away with them. Get rid of them. Go ahead. I am giving you the green light. I am empowering you to do away with them, move on, rid yourself of this stress and of this talking point. And I don't know if it's fun to have the media as a punching bag, but I don't even know if these people cover MMA anymore. I mean, honestly, some of them I'm quite certain don't. The Fight Network doesn't cover MMA like that. It's a channel that just airs like fights and Impact Wrestling and maybe the odd Invicta, of course, but like there's no one there covering it. There's no journalists there anymore. Do away with it. Be done with it. Create the official UFC rankings. And that's actually interesting fodder. That's interesting content that I would be interested in actually consuming. Does anyone disagree with me?
Well, CFMU is that's a campus community radio station at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario.
Wow. Okay. Well, I take it all back.
Shout out to the Top Turtle podcast. You'd think the Iron Turtle would get a little bit more love.
Can you look up the Top Turtle podcast right now? When's the last time they put out an episode?
No. This week.
Okay, my bad.
They got
Shout out to Top Turtle. Let's not disparage.
I'm not trying to disparage, but I know for a fact Fight Network doesn't cover news and stuff like that. There it is. Wait, is Top Turtle Moicano?
No. But maybe that's how Dan Hooker got so high in the rankings. Oh yeah, they got sponsorships and everything.
Okay. The point.
Daniel Pineda on.
I don't want to make this is not about them. I'm not disparaging, but like it can't be this way anymore. It can't.
Why? I agree with you. They ignore the rankings anyway. So why does it matter?
That's why. There's your answer, Rick. What are they getting mad about if they ignore the rankings?
Yeah, but who other than Dana White, who cares?
Right.
Don't you think it's
my thing is only Dana White cares. Nobody else cares.
He just gave the number 8 ranked guy a title shot. Why can't he just do it again?
Don't you think it would be more interesting if we looked up and said like, oh wow, they got Ian Gary at number 4 now? Great.
I don't know if I love that just because like if I'm a fighter, right? Now I know that the UFC is deciding that, right? If I'm Renato Moicano, I don't want them to go, oh, I actually think you're number 4 versus number 3. That could create some dicey situations. I like Renato's suggestion. 2 points. Just 2 points.
It gets complicated.
What's complicated about that?
Don't you just feel like if the UFC came like
that's the least complicated. If you win, you get 3 points. If you win by knockout, you get 6 points. Let's see where you're at. That's it. Who cares? It's super simple.
PFL, baby.
Well, yeah, not that.
Well, I think Bellator had rankings, and they just did them themselves, right? For a minute there, they were just like...
There was a panel for that. Maybe I'm wrong.
There was a panel.
Maybe there was.
there was.
Because they asked me to be on it, and I said,
I understand
absolutely not.
the thought behind
you said no,
this.
BT?
I said no, too.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of,
Both
I
of you
mean,
said no
to the
the
point,
Bellator
Ariel was talking about, who's on it. To the most respected outlets would not do it, right? Because there's a potential conflict there. They don't necessarily want to participate in something that's done by the promotion. If there was an independent body who was not the UFC that was doing a ranking and panelists were asked to vote, I imagine they'd have better turnout in terms of the top names participating. Maybe not. Maybe they don't want to be involved in that anyway. But because the UFC runs it or because Bellator runs it, obviously that creates some potential conflict. But I just don't I don't think anybody cares about this other than Dana White. I truly don't.
I do.
Renato Moicano.
He does? Yeah,
I do think I think it's harder to get rid of it now that they've established it. We were happy before this had occurred, right? We were all kind of saying, why do we need rankings? The problem is introducing them and taking them away. With like a new generation of fans getting used to this model, I think I don't know, it's just confusing to some degree. You mentioned at the start there, Ariel, Dana talking about AI doing the rankings there. I think it was last month or so. Just out of interest, I opened up some ChatGPT earlier and I got them to rank the UFC's 205 division.
Do it.
Ilia Latifi was number 10. and guess what?
What? Who's number 1?
Khalil Roundtree was not in the rankings.
All
What the fuck is that?
Yes. Oh, my
Well, you just want to,
that's a good spot
I'm sure
for
there's
Somebody said
more
Dana this so he can
sophisticated.
scrap the AI version because that's not going to go over well.
yeah.
I get the intent. Look, there's an ambition here that I can understand and respect, right? To have an independent body vote for it, right? Unless I'm mistaken, and again, it's hard because we don't really know who the people are on this panel. If the UFC is not influencing that vote, then it is technically an independent ranking, right? Like the people who are participating are not encouraged or changed to, or forced to submit a certain order. And so therefore that ranking is a ranking of the people. Now, do people disagree with the rankings provided by these people? Yes. But what I would argue is if we had the heaviest hitters in MMA ranking this, you would end up with nearly exactly the same list or a list that is slightly different and people would still disagree with it. There is no consensus on this. This is why these debates exist. This is why pound for pound and GOAT and all these stupid conversations that everybody has get so heated and go back and forth is because this is subjective and not that type of thing. And so I don't know if they'll get any better. Like, I think the rankings are fine and they're just
You don't think it would be
flawed
interesting
and
if the
broken.
UFC came out with their own rankings?
I do. I think that'd be interesting because then they're showing their cards, right? They're saying, this is what we think. But I don't think that would be good for business. If the UFC says to Fighter 5, we value you more than Fighter 8, that's kind of not
Well, it's not so much a value thing. Like, hey,
It certainly is a value
Moicano, you just beat up Benoit Saint Denis. We now think you're 4. All right, cool.
That's value.
You don't think they can manipulate this, though? You don't think they manipulate that if they have
100%.
an event coming up? Yeah, well, then it's another complication.
But why
Like, it's
why
just-
this charade? The charade that this is actually a real thing
Yeah,
when
it's all just
It
a
could
charade.
be a real thing.
It's just a
if it
way to
was
sell
points-based.
fights.
Just do points based. To the point you made, which is a completely valid one, they don't go by rankings anyway, right? They're not going number 1 fights number 2. Number 1 always fights number 2, or number 2 always fights number. So do points. You'll have a ranking system. You have the numbers next to the name. Nothing goes away. And you just decide who you want to get title shots just like you were doing before. Take it out of everybody's hands. Just do points.
I think points is tricky,
It's
man.
so
I
convoluted.
understand. I understand what
How
you're
do you get
saying.
points by finishes, first round knockouts, submissions. Like
Some
It's
mathematician come up with the system.
I hate points. I hate
Yeah.
points when people suggest them for scoring. It's just too complicated. It reminds me of like Olympic boxing.
It's the opposite. It's the easiest possible solution. Factoring humans into the equation to go, I like this win.
Or-
more than
okay,
this
or how
win,
about this? How
is
about
the
this?
Exact the complication you don't need.
But
This is the
How about this? How
simple-
about this? How about this? Just get rid of them. No ranking.
Sure.
Go back. By the
I
way,
think that's tough, though.
yeah, they're not going to do that.
the UFC
You
was
can't-
just fine
you
with
can't
that.
I know, but it's a good
introduce
way
it
to
to
sell
get rid of
fights.
it.
It's a good way to sell fights.
It legitimizes the sport in a way for people who don't care about these rankings, and that's 99.999%.
Exactly. You don't know who these guys are, but it's 2 top 15
Right.
lightweights
Right.
battling it out.
Well, it's just
Nothing is more broken than anything else. It's completely broken, but by design. There is no way to fix this if you're going to introduce people voting for this panel. They're always going to come up with bad results. That's just how this goes.
Let me on the panel.
So this
Dana's
reaction is
conflict
just
of
like
interest. I'll hop on.
Would you? And by the way, we are lucky enough to have a member of our team manning the YouTube channel, who was a part of the UFC when they launched in this endeavor back in the day, the great Ant Evans, and he tells us that Yahoo, ESPN, MMA Fighting, MMA Junkie all refused week 1 to be a part of the UFC rankings, most citing conflict of interest. UFC have cited independent rankings in a congressional hearing, quote unquote independent. They are well aware they are open to all sorts of bad optics and accusations doing their own. All right, so they're not going to do their own. I think they should do their own because, to me, ultimately, we're doing the fights. We're picking the matchups. We're deciding who gets bonuses, who gets opportunities to advance their career or not. End the charade and just wipe the, wipe this notion away that this is a real thing that they even care about, because they don't, and they don't adhere to it or listen to it or respect it or honor it. So what's the point? Now, the beauty of this program is that we come back on Wednesday and we could talk about this type of stuff on Wednesday, because Wednesday's still on the nose day. Yes, it's still the same old format, if you will, on Wednesday. And after this program, I'll put the post up on the Substack page, arielhelwani.substack.com, where you can send the questions, the comments, like always, and we'll have a grand old time with that. And we have a counter, right? We have a little thing. It's just going to be like the old days. It's going to be great. Now, this is the problem with announcing guests before the show, and I get excited. One of the guests that I mentioned, Craig Jones, now tells me he can't do tomorrow. We'll get him on next week. No big deal. Demetrius will be joining us, and I'm very excited. Where is he? There he is. He's right here. Actually, Demetrius is in a couple spots. He's right there, too. And there.
What the fuck is that?
No, that's not him. He's there. Yeah, he's somewhere. This has been a great day, but it's time to go. You guys good? Everyone else out there?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I'm good, man. See you in a few hours.
I saw you put in the chat. What did you put in the chat there, GC? You put something. KSI's song is a masterpiece, but Kendrick only has one good song. I didn't even know you were on YouTube. Is this your YouTube feed channel?
I had to create an account.
Oh wow.
Yeah. 0 subscribers, 0 videos.
just to put that comment in.
It's just me to comment on the YouTube chat.
Shout out to the chat. Hey guys,
how about you trying to hang me there with Ade, and then he agreed with me? That was fantastic, wasn't it? You were absolutely bullying. I actually kind of agree with him.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That is money.
Going around.
Shout out to the chat. Alex Weber's there, our old friend. Who we got in the chat? Can we get a Luciana comeback too? Interesting. It's hard to cut a deal with her. She's a tough get. One of the subscriber badges coming from Kevy. Let's see about that. Give us a thumbs up if you're liking the show. Give us a thumbs up in the chat. Give us a double tap. Give us a subscribe. Give us a notification thingy. Shout out to the chat. Much love to the chat. Salute
Give us
to
a
the
notification
chat.
thingy.
Yeah, as my guy CP the franchise says. Salute to the chat, and salute to all the polls that we're seeing on the chat. Ant's going crazy with the polls. We need to call him Poll Ant or Ant Poll or something like that.
We'll stick to
so you're really going on a dry run with the old nicknames, aren't you?
Who the fuck is we?
Yeah, all right, fine. We won't do it. All right, time to go, guys. Thank you very much. Much love to you all. And yes, you can hit the music, Frank, and subscribe. And also, the pod feed is up and running. I'm still getting people being, I don't know where to find you. How many more times can I explain? Ariel Helwani Show on YouTube, easy. Uncrowned.com, written word, easy. Social feeds, Instagram, Uncrowned, Uncrowned Combat on Twitter, Uncrowned Combat on TikTok, Uncrowned Combat on Facebook. Or actually, it might be Uncrowned on Facebook now, right? Because of Meta? Am I right or wrong on that?
I think you're right.
Anyway, just write in Uncrowned and it'll all come up. And then pod feeds, Spotify, Apple, Ariel Helwani Show. This show will be on here later tonight, tomorrow, same time and place, 1 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, Boys in the Back, live at 1 p.m. Eastern on this channel. The Crack, 1 p.m. Eastern on Friday. All those shows, one feed. We're not splitting it all up. We're not getting crazy here, okay? One feed, and we come back and we do it again. We do it again. 69 million views on this channel already. Is that true? It's a dangerous thing when you start reading the comments, isn't it? Shout out to the chat. Salute to the chat. Thumbs up to the chat. Oh, I see the likes. Yeah, I see the hearts. They're flowing. They're flowing. Frank for 24.25. I'm not sure what that means.
I'll take it.
But get it on the ticket. Great show. Great day. Loved it. Thank you, Ilia Topuria, Dustin Poirier, Kayla Harrison, Renato Moicano, and, of course, the great Ade Oladipo. Thanks to all of them. Thanks to all of you. Back on Wednesday, same time and place. Until then, I say peace. I'm out.